All right, we're live with session 2 of A Day with Zenler. And we have the most fabulous Alice with us. The multi-talented Alice is going to, she's always here at 3 o'clock BST time to share her wisdom and advice with you. So she's got some special things here. She's going to sort of give you a bit of information on logins and these sort of things, just so that you kind of know where we're coming from, because at the end of the day we use Zenler for everything we do. So I'm not going to, Alice is going to set the scene now and tell you about it all. Thank you, Alice, for coming on at 3 o'clock again.
Thank you, David. It's my pleasure. Always happy to be here. I love these Day with Zenler backgrounds. They're very bright and they have a nice pop to them. I like it a lot.
Super cool, aren't they? Super cool.
Yes. So thank you very much. So one of the things with Zenler, we tend to get a lot of questions from every time we run a challenge or we run an event. We also get questions from new people as they sign up for Zenler. So we curate a lot of our content based around those questions. And so in this case, David and I just finished a 3-day email marketing challenge, which you can find on the tutorial site. And a few questions came up in that challenge that have come up in previous challenges that we run. And they pop up in the Facebook group every now and again, and also in support tickets occasionally. So I did see the Day with Zenler session this morning with Man Meet, who it was fabulous. So if you haven't seen that after this, go check that one out, where she was talking about storytelling. And so sometimes in Zenler, we just give you the technical bits, just go do this thing, just go log in here. And we don't always necessarily give you a full explanation as to why that is. And so today I wanted to give you a bit of background information that I feel like will help things make a lot more sense to you. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And this is the tutorial site here for Zenler, tutorials.newzenler.com. And one of the questions we get asked a lot is around logging into this site is either a question around my login doesn't work, or why do I need a new login? Why doesn't my Zenler site log in? Or I'm logged in and I don't see the community. So I want to answer how those things might happen. And the first one around why you need your own login for Zenler that's separate from your site login is because this is a Zenler site just like your site. So if your login for your Zenler site worked on our Zenler site, that would mean our logins and everybody's Zenler logins would work on your site as well. And you wouldn't want that. So everybody's site has their own unique login. So if you buy courses, whether it's free content someplace else that are on Zenler, you will need your own login for that site. And it's up to you to also keep track of your logins for different sites. Because if you come to the Zenler site and you log in, and you end up creating a new login rather than using your old login, you now have 2 profiles on this Zenler tutorial site. So if on one profile you registered for a course, but then you ended up creating a new login because you couldn't remember your old login, your new login is not registered for that course, which means if that course has a community, you won't see that community show up for you. So I just want to give you an example here. So if you registered for our fabulous email challenge, if you come here to enrolled courses, you will see a list of the courses you're enrolled in. And when you click on that course, you're going to go right to the course access page once you've registered. And if you click into any of the course access, if there's a community, I'm going to lower myself here. If there's a community associated with that particular challenge or course, you will see community right up here in the corner. So you could actually click on that and it will pop up and open you up right here in the community for that particular challenge. Otherwise, you can always access community right from the top of the navigation on any site. And when you click that, it will give you a list of all the communities that you have access to. If you do not have access to a particular community for some reason, and you know you're enrolled in the course, one of the reasons could be you're logged in under the wrong account, or you're not actually enrolled in the course. So you would come back to enroll to the support hub. You would come down to on-demand courses to look and see and find the course and make sure that you're actually registered. So if you're not, and you click on a course, you will get that register button, right? So once you register, you click that, you enroll for free. And once you're actually registered for the course, you'll get a button to continue to the course. And then you will be able to access the course, and there's the course content for you. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're registered. And this is really good for you to know, because this is the exact same way that your Zenler site works as well. So if somebody tells you they're logged in, but they don't see their course, it could be because they have created a new login on your site somehow, and they're not actually logged in under the login that purchased the course. So when you have logins, I have a whole book full of my logins. There are services like LastPass that you can use to help you remember your logins for different sites. So as long as you're logged in with the right login on the site, which you need a unique login for, because if you didn't have a unique login, that would mean you could log into anybody's Zenler site, and we wouldn't want that, right? You wouldn't want others to be able to log into your site. So you have your own unique login. You're logged in under the correct login, and that's how you access courses. And any courses you have access to, there's an enrolled courses list there, and they will show up there for you to access them. Now, another question that we get asked is around the getting emails, getting reminders for the live classes and the live sessions. So once you're actually registered for a course, the instructions for how to access the information are right on the course access page. They're right here. It tells you the start date. And if you scroll down, it will tell you steps you need to take. You have to click the book your spot button to access a live class and get live class reminders. This is the same way it works on your site. So I'm just going to come here to my test site, and I am going to show you. So the first thing that you need to do when you're doing live lessons in classes is you need to come into the live class, because that's the ones that you can stream into a lesson in a course, and you create the live class. So it's up to you to set the dates and times and do all those setting details. If you only want people who have access to your course to also just have access to this live and no one else, then you make it secret and you save it, okay? And if you come over here to automations, you will see that you have, upon registering, the email is already there. Your reminder sequences need to be turned on, so you're going to want to go in and do that, okay? And once you do that, it's all set up. You're going to come back to your course, and you're going to pop into your course. You're going to go to your curriculum, and you're going to go to, I just have a live class as a lesson here. And then you're going to click that content type for this lesson and add a live. You're going to get a pop-up. Live class lesson is the one that I've created for this, and done. And now I'm going to show you, when you preview this as a student, you come into this lesson, there's a button that says book my spot. If you are registered for one of our challenges or one of our live boot camps, and you do not access the course and click this book my spot button, you will not get reminders for the classes. And the same thing goes for your students. If you are streaming live lessons into or live classes into a lesson, and your students don't click this button that says book my spot, they will not get a notification that you're live. You have to click that button, and that's all they have to do is click the button. I've clicked the button. I now have an email for this live class in my inbox with the access instructions. And if you've turned on the reminders, right, which are over here under live, the automations are under the live class that you've booked in. If you've turned on the reminders for the automations, those reminders will fire off as well, but they have to book into those. And it's good to know that because we do our best. When you book the course, we send you an email. If it's a live Challenger bootcamp, we send you an email right away with the instructions on how to access the course and how to book into the days. On the course access page, we tell you the steps that you need to take in order to access these live challenges. So the information is there for you. And we want you to make sure that you understand that this is a similar process that your students will go through when you are running live challenges, if you're running live classes and you're doing those classes through the course. So I don't know, David, if there's anybody live with us, if anybody has any questions around how to access the course, how to access communities, and how to get reminders for live classes.
Yeah, we have Jennifer in. Jennifer said, is it better to have automations for reminders in the live or the course sections?
You can set them both up for sure. You can set up reminders in the course for drip content, and you can set the initial email that you send out. You can set up to give them those instructions. But the problem is if someone doesn't access their email, if someone doesn't access the course, then they still may ask the question, but the majority should be fine.
Yeah, I think it's belt and braces things. It's kind of like, make sure that information, like you can see our information tells you what you should do on the course access page. So when they enroll, they go to that page. Now, of course, we can't force people to read that information, but if they don't read the information and then they don't get the emails because they haven't followed the instructions, what can you do? We send out an automation when someone enrolls in the course. But they need to book their spot. We can't do that well, we could, but it's just unmanageable, so they need to go in and book their spot. So until they book their spot, nothing's going to go out. So even if we sent an email saying, oh, the webinar is starting in 15 minutes from the course automations, it doesn't matter because they haven't booked their spot. So they're not going to get in there anyway. So to actually do it from the live automations, I think is better because they've taken an action and they've booked their spot. So that's how I look at it. But you could do it either way, but you'd have to make sure that information. And as we always say, you need to test this and maybe run some friends or some colleagues through the system and see what they think and if they're receiving the emails and things.
Yes. And, the thing is that 90% of people understand how it works. The people who don't understand, even with Zenler, we understand it's a new process for you, which is why we do these lives and why we have trainings on the YouTube channel and why we have tutorials. And we repeat a lot of the same information because there's always new people coming in and there's always people who aren't sure exactly how the processes work. So it's always good to know how it works. And we do our best every time we get questions to think about how can we improve our process to help more people understand and access the information they need. As David said, if people don't read the information we send, there's nothing that we can do about that. All we can do is try and keep talking about it on these videos. This course access page in very big, large, readable font tells you exactly what you need to do to access all the information. And the initial email that went out with the course also told you that information. So we do our best to do that. But if you're logged in, but if there's confusion around how to log in. Did you create another login? So things like that can happen. And so it's really great to know that our Zenler site is actually built on the same exact software that your Zenler site is built on. And so our site functions the same as your site functions. So it's kind of good to know that it's not a different platform. It's not a different software. It's the same exact software.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, like we do put instructions down. We didn't always do that because it's really hard. Like when you work in the system all the time, you think, oh, well, that's the way it works. So you think everyone should get it. And you've really got to dial yourself back and look at it with objective views as if you didn't know anything about the platform. I know you created the platform, you guys, but you've got to almost put yourself in like, right, I'm a new person coming to the site. Is that clear? Can I see that? What do I do next? What's happening next? Because they don't know. New people coming in don't know what's going on. So you could actually take this a stage further. Instead of just doing text in there, what to expect and how to book and stuff, you could also do a video. So you could do a video walking people through exactly what's going to happen, and that's a very powerful thing as well. So you've got your video, and you've also got the text to back up the video as well. So this can be really powerful. Jennifer's also followed up with saying, yes, that's the problem I had with a challenge she was running. I should have given specific instructions in the enrollment email, and she lost some souls in the transition across. So, you know, that was one of those things. But that's, you know, that sometimes, Jennifer, that happens. You know, you perfect things as you go through things.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's what we do. We, you know, it's like the whole site's changed because we're just perfecting things as we go through. And, you know, we're human. Sometimes we forget to do things that we should do, but that's just because we're human, you know, and that's fine. But try to test all the time. Try to look at it objectively as a tester, or get someone to do it for you. You know, there's loads of people in the group. If you ask them, they're more than willing to go in and see where you can improve on things.
Absolutely. And I know Tracy was also on this morning showing her process on a day with Zenler and how she has her courses and community set up. And one of the things that I like to do, one of the things we talked about in the email challenge as well, is there's different types of email sequences that you can initiate. And one of the types of email sequences that you can initiate is an onboarding sequence. So when people come into your membership or join your course, creating a clear path through an onboarding sequence. And you can do that with emails. You can do that with videos. There's a lot of processes you can go through to ask yourself, what's the most important thing people need to know? And for this email challenge, for example, the most important thing people needed to know is that they need to book in for these live sessions. So we sent that in an email when they first registered, and we put it right at the top of the course access page, so they knew they had to do that. So that's what we did to make sure that they knew that that was the most important thing, right? There's other pieces to it, like accessing the replays, which get uploaded into the course lesson afterwards. But we get questions about that a lot. So we do our best to create a process where people can find the information they need.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Jennifer likes that. She's like, yeah, that would be good. So an intro video would be cool. Give you an example of that, Jennifer. If you just jump into the template packs that we've got on tutorials.newzenler.com, what you actually find is with that particular one, it's a little step further. So it shows you, because I uploaded the blocks straight into the template site, and I could have just left it there. I could have said, there's your templates, but people don't know what to do. So what I did is I created 3 videos. I created a video that is an installation. It's actually how to download the templates in the first place. The next video is installation of those. And then we have, if you want to edit those. So they're all at the top of each thing. I don't know if Alice can jump in there and see it.
I'm doing it right now. Yes.
Yeah, then you'll see that those videos are in there telling you exactly what you need to do when you go through. So you'll see their installation video. So you've got what are these for? So you've got downloading the packs, you've got installation packs and blocks, customizing the themes. So you've got the download, installation, all those steps taking you through before you jump into the blocks. And you'll notice if you scroll down even further, you've even got some troubleshooting ones at the bottom. So you've got troubleshooting the blocks if you have problems. These were just me trying to think, what problems would you have? So I produced a troubleshooting video on that. And of course, we have then the certificate. So again, these are a different process. So you're doing videos on how to download, install, and edit those as well. So giving that information in there, that is not what they're paying for. If they were paying for this, they'd be paying for the templates. This is something that you do to make sure that their journey is smooth. And also remember, it saves a lot of trouble for you later with support questions. So these kind of things are what you need to be thinking about when you're doing this stuff. And I'm sure, you can come up with some even better ideas than what we've shown you there.
Absolutely. And just know that you can create the best processes in the world. You're still always going to have someone that process didn't work for, or someone that didn't care for the process. That's always going to happen. It's never going to be perfect. But if you do your best to think, if you're asking yourself the question, how can I make this process as easy for my students as possible? And you're putting that information in there, then you're definitely on the right track. And the best way to know for sure if it's working is if you have a number of people going through it, right? So if you have a number of people going through it, and the majority of those people find it to be a good process, they understand the process, then you're on the right track. There are certainly things you can do to improve, because there's always those things, but you're not always going to make everybody perfectly happy. So you sometimes just have to zen with that and just go with it.
Yeah, you need to take the Zen approach. The other thing, of course, our Facebook group, all of you guys in there are using Zenler. So if you're letting a few of those people go through your course to see their experience, what they can do is they pull from their own experience of using the platform itself. So they might say, look, you should use this block instead, it works a lot better. So they can actually give you guidance as well. Obviously, it's always good to have someone who's completely doesn't know anything, like who doesn't know computers, doesn't know, and then you can find out exactly where all the weaknesses are that you just would not have thought of. It's amazing what people come up with, and you're like, really? Oh, okay, I better put something in there.
Exactly. And I know that Kevin does Zen Chat, which is a networking event with Zenler users, and they do a lot of that testing out for each other, and there's a lot of great things that they do. So if you're interested in that, you can and partnering up with someone and doing that, you can come to the home. It's on demand, right? Zen Chat is in here somewhere.
It is in there because all of them are in there.
Right here.
Zen, the live challenges.
Here's Zen Chat with Kevin. So it's community chat, networking, and opportunities where you can connect with people and do that. So if that's something you're interested in, come in here and check out Zen Chat. You can do that
they run
too.
quite regularly. I think he runs them every other week, so it's running like twice a month.
Yeah.
They're getting more and more popular. A lot of people are networking in there and creating businesses with each other and sharing lots of information with each other, testing being one of them as well. This is the perfect place for you guys to go to get your testers in there to actually just test everything's working. It's a really good place, and you might make some really good friends in there that you partner up with. So it's definitely worth checking out if you've not been in there before.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yep, it's all a learning process, and you just have to give yourself sort of the space and grace to learn and implement those processes for sure.
Perfect. We got a question from Monique, slightly off topic, but it's she's a new member. It's a new member and just about to upload course content. What's the best video to learn how to set up enrollments for students? Right, okay. So when you're talking about enrollment students, you're talking about what the student sees from when they're trying to enroll, which is, Alice just sort of showed it there, but you can find in the Quick Start guide that there is a section on testing as a student. So this is what you should do. You should be testing as a student. I don't think this question relates to marketing. It might, it's a bit vague as to whether it's actually to see what the student sees or whether it's a marketing related question. So Monique, if you let us know, that's good. But if it's just purely to see what the student's experience is, that would be the testing phase. So get all your content up, get everything going, and then test it as a student. And that way you see what your students see when they enroll for your courses.
Right. And are you asking about enrolling students yourself, how you manually enroll them, how they enroll themselves and sign up? Because you would use that would go through, your sales page for that particular course, right? This is the sales page you'd set up on your Zenler for your course. Like you definitely have to be more specific about what you mean. Creating the course.
All right, so yeah, Monique's come back. She wants to see the student's experience. So you'll see that if you go into the Quick Start guide, there it is. Alice has got that up, lightning quick. There are testing phases inside of that, where to go for. There we go, testing site as a student. I was just hoping that I had put that in there.
Yeah, you did, David. You were on it.
So you want to go in and check that out. But, the first thing to do is to try and make sure it's all okay from your side. And then you test it. It's really easy to test as a student. There's so many things you can do in Zenler. So when we get a question like that, Monique, it could refer to probably 5 or 6 different things. So that's why we had to ask you, what do you mean by that? Because it can relate to a lot of different things. A lot of people are coming across from another platform and want to know how to import users into a course or those sort of things. Or it can be that you just want to test it out and see how it looks as a student. Monique, if you've not been in Zen Chat, go in there and ask someone if they go and test your course for you. Remember that they're testing, so you can give it to them for free. And if you then want to remove them from the course, then you can do that. You can remove people from your course later if you want to keep everything clean. Obviously, thank the user who has helped you and tested everything, but then you can remove them from the course and carry on.
Yep. I hope that answered your question, Monique.
Yeah, Monique is a new user, so there's some questions coming out. Monique, please just take the Quick Start guide, because there's questions like, how do you get them enrolled? They enroll themselves, yeah? So they go to your sales page, they click the buy button, and then they sign up for your course. Simple as that.
And if you are a new pro or premium user, you can click through right here and register for a free onboarding session. That will help you get started as well.
Yeah, Monique, if you're brand new to the platform, you can also attend Alice's webinar. She has webinars that she runs for just taking people a little bit of an overview of the platform. So that would be useful for you as well if you're brand new to the platform and you haven't attended. Alice is here today, so you can see, so there you go.
Yeah, register for onboarding if you're a pro or premium member.
Yeah, are you pro, Monique? Are you a free user at the moment? Pro user. Oh, right. Oh, you want to definitely do the onboarding then. Get in there. Go
free
on there,
user?
click that button. A pro user.
Oh, pro user. Yes, definitely get in on that thing. And the reason it's for pro and premium users and not free users is because we're talking about things in this training, in this onboarding session, that do not apply to free accounts. You don't have access to these things, and you won't be able to see them in your account without upgrading. So it's specifically for pro and premium users.
Yeah, that's That's why. So I'm going to drop the link in there to the onboarding session with Alice. So as you are a pro user, or if you're a premium user, you'd have access to the onboarding. If you're a free user, please don't attend, because Alice is really talking about the new features that are only available to pro. Now, if you are doing the webinar, you can always ask Alice. You can even post on there what's so good about being on one of the plans. That's fine. You know, if you're on that edge of actually
You can go.
pro.
You can go to the demo webinar for that.
Yeah, you have the demo as well. Yeah,
those are on Thursdays.
Yeah. So we have you covered, Monique. Definitely jump in there. Alice will get you up to speed on all the features that you now have available as a pro user. Fabulous.
Yes. Yay. So any more questions? Because one of the other things, I know we've got a little bit more time. So I kind of also wanted to do a follow-up on a little bit of marketing from the email challenge that we did, because we did get a lot of questions, which we usually do, don't we, David? Get a lot of questions around marketing for the different things that we do. So wanted to just go over a few tools and resources of things and ways that you can market, whether you're marketing your lead magnet with that new email sequence series that you have together, or you're trying to market a course, you're trying to generate traffic to your site, you're trying to figure out, oh, what do I post on social media? So it's just kind of a general overview with some ideas on things that you can do to market yourself, your lead magnet, your courses, your site, drive traffic there. So just some simple, really basic things. So nothing too out there at all. Just simple things. And for those of you who haven't already, or for those of you that did register, if you go to, because this is partly based on also some information that we did in day 3, which is the what about marketing. So day 3 of the email challenge was focused on some of those marketing pieces. And I did give a little bit of a process that you could use to market your lead magnet, your email series in there. So I definitely recommend going through that if you are interested in that marketing piece for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was really good advice. And this is what we love about when we have multiple people doing these challenges, like when I've got Alice there and me there, because you get a different perspective from both of us. We work in different ways. And Alice, that particular part of day 3 could literally be self-contained as a challenge. So it's worth looking at it, even if you're not interested in doing email sequences. Again, you could just jump into that bit, have a look at it, and just get this advice on marketing, which can be used for everywhere. Now, I also said in that 3-day email challenge that although we are setting up an email sequence to specifically do an email sequence challenge, what it also means is by learning these methods, you're learning automations for every part of the site. So wherever you see automations in your site, be it live, be it in courses, be it in marketing funnels, these same approaches apply. That's what we love about Zenler. It's like the page builder. You use it in so many places within the site. You don't need to relearn anything, and that's the same with the automations. Once you get a firm grip on how it works and how filtering works, it's used in the same way. There's no relearning. So if you were to break Zenler down, there's probably 5 or 6 skills you need to know. And apart from that, you could operate, you could run your course, your membership site very easily and very quickly and efficiently, because you know those sort of 6 skill sets that you need inside there. Understanding the automations, media creation. Once you get those down pat, you can actually use those, and you can actually take those and use those on other platforms if you wanted to as well. I'm not saying you should move to another platform, but I'm saying like things like Active Campaign. The processes and the things that you're doing will be the same. Now we go a stage further, because we show you marketing. It's not really, we've got marketing tools in there, but we're actually showing you how to market. And that applies to anything, not just Zenler. So we give you all this additional information that that we think will help you, because our main goal, our number one goal, is for you to make money and be successful. Why? Because you stay with a platform and you're happy, and that's what we want.
Right. It's to our benefit to make sure that you're able to use this successfully and sell your memberships and courses. It's to our benefit. So we want that for you. That's why all of our trainings, our boot camps, our courses, all of it is free. All of it. We don't charge you for any of it, because we want you to take these courses. We want you to sign up for these challenges. We don't want to have any barriers for you, because we want you to get the best use out of your Zenler site.
Yeah, for sure. Monique said that she did actually attend the day one of the email, free day email challenge. So Monique attended. Now remember, you catch up on replays. So if you didn't manage to catch day 2 and 3, just jump back in the course and watch those replays. It's going to benefit you in so many different ways. So just learning it. If you don't understand all of it, just please watch it and it will sink in for sure. And Alice's bit, like I said, is literally self-contained. So when you get to that marketing stage, you can go off. We have other marketing courses as well that can help you, and you can just build that experience up as you're going through. Brilliant. So Jennifer has got a question for you, Alice.
Okay,
so
great.
Is it possible to focus the marketing program via email pretty much? I'm burned out on Facebook issues and not getting traction over there. So I'd like to transition to an email marketing program almost entirely. Feasible? Question mark.
Well, it is feasible, but how are you driving traffic to your email list? How are you getting people to sign up on your list? So that's the thing that you have to think about, is you still have to drive the traffic to your site to get them to subscribe to your list, and then you can do marketing there. So, and you can do that in a lot of different ways. There are a lot of platforms. I don't blame you. I know we're streaming live on the FB right now, but I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of people who feel very much the same way that you do, that there's so many things happening with Facebook. And so I feel the same way as you do. So I understand what you're going through. And there are other platforms that you can use to help you drive traffic. David and I did a YouTube challenge a little while back. YouTube is in and of itself an incredible search engine. So having tutorial content, things people are searching for on your YouTube channel, can help drive traffic to your site as well. You just want to make sure you're doing some research on those keywords when you create your content, if you're looking to drive traffic. So let me just, let's see. Let me come to back to my main site here. So
that's a nice segue, isn't it? Into
yes, it is. It is. It is. So you need to create content for your site too, to be able to drive that traffic there. You're driving that traffic to something. And if you create, for example, blog content, you have Kevin's blogging challenge, which is also on the tutorial site. I highly recommend that. Kevin and his partner, Sarah, have been blogging online for a lot of years, and they're amazing at it. So go to that blogging challenge that is at the tutorial site. If you come here, I'll just quickly show you. On demand, and if you scroll through, you will find the blogging boot camp. Okay, and you're going to want to go through that, because that is going to help you a lot when it comes to putting content on your site, because that's the other thing. You have to have marketing is content, right? So whether you're putting that content on your site and sharing it out to social media sites, you have to have something you're putting out there, and it has to have a connection to you and what you do and how you do it. So I want to show you a blog, because I'm going to kind of give you some ideas on how to create a blog content and how to create lead magnets and sort of what you can do with that content so that you can start marketing yourself, your site, whether it's a course, whether you're just marketing a lead magnet. There's all different bits, and all of these things can apply to you, to your site, and what you're doing. So the first thing is, so this is a blog post on this demo site that I have about 6 ways to find unique ideas for your digital courses, right? So this is a blog post, and it's a list post, right? Because it's 6 ways to do a thing. So let me go back to blog. So in that list post, if I come over here and let's view the blog so we can see it. If we see, here's the 6 ways. And so now I have these 6 ways. So frequently asked questions, identify your strength, channel your inner Nostradam. I can't talk today. Look in unexpected places, find gaps in the market, check analytics. Those are 6 things. I could create 6 graphics that have one of each of these things identified on it, and I can share those on social media. And on the graphic, it could say, you know, whatever the name of your site is, because this is not a custom domain. It could just say mysite.com/blog on the thing, so people know to go to your blog. And when they're in your blog, you can actually add a list sign up to your blog post, which is super easy to do. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do right now. So when you're in this blog area, if you come here to settings and you scroll down, you're going to have blog homepage and blog post page. Your blog post page is where you're going to want to click for the editor. Let me move myself out of the way. For the editor. And once you're in there, it's just going to look like this blank page. You're going to see blog post content here. This is dynamic content where it'll pull in your blog. Now, just for the sake of efficiency, I've created a custom block for this particular thing that I'm going to put in here. So I'm going to plop this here, right? So underneath my blog content, I've just created, this is a block. I put there's a row in here that has 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, okay? Text, an image for the checklist, the name of the checklist, and a button for downloading it, okay? So I've put that, I've created that. Okay, and now I'm going to save that block. So you can create the block, save it in there. I highly recommend doing something like this because you can plop it on other pages on your site as well. But now, because blog post content goes here, this call to action will now be at the bottom of every single blog post on my site. So now if we come back here, it's not there, but if I refresh, now it pops up there for people to download it. So there's a call to action on the blog. So what I'm doing is I'm promoting this content that people that are my ideal clients would be interested in. And at the bottom, I'm giving them a download for something that they would also be interested in. So they'll sign up. So when they click this button, I have it set to open the pop-up. And when they put their name and email and they agree to receive marketing, I have GDPR turned on, so they check that and they download the checklist. And now they have the checklist, okay? You can put that, and let me show you right here on the blog. If I come to this blog post, which I haven't opened up yet, because I have it, that block there, it shows up on every single blog post I have. So now you can use your blog content to do marketing, right? So you can create graphics that you share on social media that tell people to go check out your blog post. And then you have your call to action there for people to sign up to your list. And once they're on your list, then yes, you can do that email marketing to those people that have signed up to your list. Some other things that you can do. And so I want to show you really quickly, if you don't already have a Canva account, you can come to Canva, you can create a free account and quickly log in with Google or Facebook account with that one-click sort of login. Once you log in, I've created this new free pro account. It's very easy to create content here in Canva if you haven't done it before. I focus, this is a brand new account, I don't have anything in here. I focus on creating Instagram posts because they work on Facebook and Instagram both, those square posts. But there's a lot of templates here on Canva. So I want to show you, if you go to templates, you get a list of categories and all these things over here. You want to click this button down here, price, as free. If you're using the free version, if you have the pro version of Canva, then totally go with pro. But if I uncheck this for a second, I just want to show you, if it's a pro thing, you're going to see this crown and it's going to say pro on it, that little crown, which means there's paid features and you have to have that Canva Pro account to access it. So that's why you want to click this free button, and then you get all these templates. There's over 450,000 templates on this free plan of Canva. So for example, you could use this as a, and design it for your lead magnet. You have these square, it says Instagram post. You can use this as a template for your content. That's got a little bit of a animated video content to it. This is an Instagram post here. So you can create any of those types of posts. So let's go ahead and another place that you can do it is if you click create design up here in the corner and say create an Instagram post, it'll just be the square post for you. And then you still have access to templates here on the side. It doesn't always allow you to mark them just for free. So you have to look to make sure, because some of these are on the pro, but you can scroll through here to find templates as well. And I know there's one down here that I kind of liked for this blog post, because we're gonna do, so like this one, you can add that template there, right? And so this actually says 6 factors, but this could be that 6 ideas for your, what is the name of that blog post? 6 ways to find unique ideas for your digital course, right? So you could create, whoops. You can create this graphic and put those 6 ideas on here and then share that onto social media to promote that blog post, right? You could do individual ones as well, where you just put one on here and you could delete these things. That's for yours. Oh, this is on the thing. Oh, because that's, I think that's an image that maybe has a pro image on there. So you would want to upload. That's why those are on there. All right. Get Canva Pro. Okay. So you would just want to find some free images. So you would go to elements and you are, what am I looking for? Yes, elements. And you could search, depending on your niche, you could search the keyword here in Canva, and you want photos, and I don't know, you could do something like that, right? So you just make sure you're using a photo that doesn't have that pro mark on it. Right? So you could do that and then just add, drag over and add the images. Oh, that one has a pro image on it. Pro. So there, right? So you just add an image that doesn't have that pro feature on it. So that's how you could create an image in Canva for free to market that blog post. Okay. And you would just put on here, you know, your site name / blog so that people know they could go back there. You could also on Instagram, you have a singular link that you can use on your main account. You could link back to your blog content there or to a sales page, wherever you wanted to. Same thing on your Facebook content. Now, the other thing that you can do when you have a blog content, so I like to either start with blog content or video content. And if you start with video content, you can transcribe it and use it as a blog post. You can also take the audio and upload it as a podcast. There's lots of variety of content you can create from that video. You can also create a variety of content from this blog post, right? So you can create 6 unique graphics for this particular blog post. You could also create more blog posts from this blog post, right? This is 6 blog posts. You can take this frequently asked questions section and create an entire blog post just around frequently asked questions. And then you can link back to it from here, right? You can create an entire blog post around identifying your strengths, right? So you can do that. If you have a lead magnet, so the lead magnet that I have for people, the lead magnet that I have for people here is a course creator funnel checklist, right? So on this checklist, I have these 7 things. So of these 7 things, I could actually create blog posts around each of these individual things and have content around that. I could create a graphic here on the free Canva template that talks about each of these individual things, and I can share those on social media. When it's blog content that's on your site, you can use Pinterest, and there are templates here for Pinterest. So you can come here to type and go to social media, and then you can look for ones that are story. Oh, it doesn't say Pinterest on here. Let's see if we can search Pinterest. But you can do templates. There we go. Pinterest pins. So now you can look at these that are Pinterest pins, and you can put the name of your blog post and some graphics on there, and pin, and then save that graphic and pin it on Pinterest and link back to your blog. That's also a great way to get traffic to your site. And I can tell you it works really well to drive traffic, and it's social media, but it's not, right? So that could be a really great way for you to create content that's not specifically for Facebook to drive traffic back to your site. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, if you want to start with a lead magnet, creating a blog content that promotes your lead magnet, that you can then share graphics and information on social media to drive traffic to that blog post so that people get to this download, right? That's what you want to do. David, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't know if there's anybody, if anybody's in the Facebook chat, if anybody's asking any questions.
Well, what always happens is when people are really interested in what you're talking about, and it's kind of more showing them, you don't get many questions pop in there. Is when we have these little chats, then questions pop in there. That's what I've noticed, which is quite interesting. So you see people's attention. If there's nothing in there, but there's people watching, I know that they're just intently looking at what you're showing them, because this stuff and reusing content is so important. It saves you so much time. It really does. And I know that Jennifer was saying that she loved the challenges we did with the marketing challenge, YouTube and the marketing challenge. And she is getting results from it. She's getting really good results. She's like, you know, her page rankings are going up and up and up, and she's getting more traffic come through. So she knows it works, but she's just saying, like with videos, it takes so long to produce them. Well, I promise you that if you do enough of them, you get quicker and quicker and quicker until it becomes natural. But just like Alice was saying there, it's like if you have a video, you can take the transcripts from that video, you can turn that into a blog post, you could put the video in there, turn it into a vlog. Then you can do exactly what Alice said there, which was to actually take some of those things, take those key points. If you looked at Manit's one earlier, she was drawing posts out of a journey, a story of what she did yesterday, and you could do exactly the same with that, with a video that you produce as well. So all these things, they take time to do initially, but it's like a bike. You know, once you start pedaling, you start to get faster and faster and faster. And I promise you, you will be really speedy with this stuff. So I can see Jim's in there, totally zones in. Yes. So Alice, Jim was zoned in on what you were saying.
Good.
That's what happened. So you don't get any questions, and then you'll go off air and they have a load of questions.
Yes, exactly. Which is totally fine. Like I said, it just to give you some ideas around what you can do. You're trying to market that particular lead magnet that's attached to your email sequence. You can embed that in a blog. You can make graphics that have different bits on them that you can share on social media that drive traffic back to it. There's lots of different bits and things that you can do to do some marketing. That's not just about posting necessarily on social media, but it's really, you have to think about it is, how does this post that I'm putting on social media drive traffic back to me? How does this post make people want to click on my profile and click through to my website? How does this post make people want to sign up to my list? Where is it driving them? What's my CTA? How am I going to get them over there so that I can do that email marketing instead of just doing social media marketing? And using tools like YouTube and using tools like Pinterest that are a little bit different than your general social media sites is a really great way to do that. You just have to have the content on your site to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And reuse of content is just, well, that's what the pros do. You know, you'll notice that even with our backdrops today with Zenler that we have here, we use these backdrops within any other stuff that we do as well. Like a classic case would be the 3-day marketing challenge. In fact, all of our courses and challenges, we do exactly the same thing. We have a design done, or a bit like this background you can see here, a day with Zenler, and we can take and we can utilize that. So we'll actually strip out the logos, and we then got a background that we can use within our course page, and we can just drop that in there. We then have it separated out for the Zenler logo and a day with Zenler, and we could drop those into position within the page as well, saving us hours of time. This is what the pros do. They reuse content. So if you're saying anything online, a day with Zenler, I could take a whole transcript of that. I could probably make about 60 videos from the content that we've just had today. No problem. I could do 60 posts, no problem, with social media, with just the content we've got. So just think of that. You can grab images. Another key thing, speed timing thing, is in Canva, just like Alice showed you, you can set these templates up and you can reuse them, again saving you massive amount of time and keeping your brand consistent as well. So these are all key things that you can tap into, and you can get quicker and quicker at doing this stuff.
Right. Once you set up a process for yourself, if you're starting with video, if you're starting with blog, no matter what you're starting with, if you just set up a process for yourself, just like creating a course inside Zenler or setting up a live webinar in Zenler, once you get used to what that process is, it gets faster and faster and faster.
Yeah. And it also means that if you take on a VA, you can tell them your approach. And bang, they're off. They don't need to ask you. They're following the same formats that you're running. Suddenly you don't have to handle that. You can concentrate on other things like course creation. I know as course creators, it's really hard because we've got to have, we have our hands in so many different areas and we're trying to run them all. And there does get to a point where you're going to need to hand stuff across. So if you have this stuff structured, you can even do video training. That's what I generally do, is do a video training and give it to anyone helping me, so they can just look at that if they need help and find all the resources they need, so that they don't have to bother me. I can just get on with my stuff, well,
absolutely.
Or surfing.
Yes. And the templates, I saw that Jennifer talked about the templates, and the templates in Zenler are the templates in Canva, the free ones. You can still edit those. You can change out colors and fonts and things. There's a ton of tutorials on YouTube about how to use Canva. I know David has several Canva tutorials throughout all of the trainings and courses for creating some graphics. So I know that David has those in there for you too. So it's super easy to use. You definitely get a lot more benefits on that pro plan of Canva and access to more assets and features, but it's definitely still doable on the free version as well, and utilize the templates and just edit them up a little.
Yeah, and try and enjoy the experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all these things you're doing, instead of like use the word effort, just try and enjoy that experience. You know, you can change the way you're thinking about design. Is such a fabulous thing when you start to get into it. Doing social media posts, any of this stuff, all of it is really creative. I know it can be straining on you sometimes if you haven't, you're not design orientated, but like I say, everyone's a designer. You get up in the morning, you make design decisions every single day. You know, what colors you're going to put on the plate when you're making a salad, and you don't even think about it. What clothes you're going to put on. You're making design decisions all day, every day. So if you can just refocus that into design on a page, it can have the same effect. If not, use other sites for inspiration. It's really easy, and then you don't have to put so much thought into it.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right. Thank you, David, for having me on again today. I know we do this every day with Zenler at this time, so I love it. And do comment. You know, let me know if you have any questions. Also, let us know, like, if there's specific types of things you'd like to learn more about, because then we can curate that for you for the next time.
Lovely. All right. So we have Angela waiting. She's waiting patiently before she pops up.
Yep. Boom. Hi, Angela. I look forward to seeing what you have for us today on A Day with Zenler. It's always nice to see you, Angela. You're kind of a regular around here.
Yeah, it just happened that way. But I love to support the community, so I do my best.
We love that. So enjoy, have a fabulous session, and I will be watching from my phone.
Hey, thank you, Alice.
Bye.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Welcome, Angela. So like Alice just said, Angela's been on before. She does really, really good presentations and walks people through things. And so we thought it'd be really good to have her back. And she has said that she would. So we are very privileged, Angela, to see you again.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy that you that the community find it resourceful and find it valuable, because that is why we're here, right? And yeah. I try my best to support the community in different kinds of ways. So this is just to put glitter on the cake, you know.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So
yeah.
I'm going to be, Angela's website, if you guys want to have a look at it, I'm just going to show it now. I'll show it at the end as well. But this is Angela's site. So this is actually a Zenler site. So she has other business.
Yeah, now I see it. Yeah, so this is what I do. I help a service-based entrepreneur get more clients by doing live converting events. So we run challenges, masterclasses, all kinds of converting events, and we build group programs. So that is what I do in my incubator. So I actually just have my main page and I have my program, and you can book a call. So my focus is actually not on my webpage, because my focus is this. So this is how I get my clients, by speak to them. So not sure if it froze. Okay, so I will just keep going, because I think something froze, but I can see myself on Facebook, so I will go. So the main reason why I'm here is that I'm going to do a training about lead generation, and I always share massive value. So make sure you have pen and paper ready, because I'm going to share a lot of things that you can take and you can implement right away. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is to present myself. My name is Angela, and as you hear, I help service-based entrepreneurs scale by doing group program and just perfect, Jim. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know. Great, thanks. So we craft live converting events, and I know they hosted a challenge or a workshop in the new Zenler community a couple of weeks ago about running challenges. And that is my expertise. And what I teach along with that is to how to get leads to sign up for your challenge. So that is what I'm going to talk about today. And as you can hear, my first language isn't English. I'm actually from Sweden. I live in south of Spain. And right now I'm actually in Sweden to host a trucking event because I'm a former truck driver as well. So that is why I'm here. So I want to first going through what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about 3 parts when it comes to lead generation. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about the mindset we have around lead generation, okay? Because a lot of people struggle with lead generation, right? So that is the first thing that I'm going to talk about. The second thing is that I'm going to talk about how to create simple content for your lead generation for your challenge. That is part number 2. And then part number 3, I am going to talk about strategies. And I have put together, I actually have notes because I'm a freestyler, so I talk a lot. That is what I do. So I actually written down 12 strategies that you can easily implement. And I love simplicity. So this is not something that is complicated to do or something that is take a lot of time, that costs a lot of money, no ads or things like that. So those are the 3 parts that I'm going to cover. If you have any questions, I now see that David is back. So if you have any questions, I will try to answer them along the way. I do have a lot of value, so I will keep on going if there isn't a specific question that I know I won't be covered in what I have planned to talk about, okay?
Yeah, sorry, Angela. What happened there was I actually had a power cut. So everything shut off.
Okay,
so
I just kept on going.
I know. Well, this is because you're a professional, you know. So I was like, oh, I hope Angela's okay. She's carrying on, but I knew you'd be okay. So I jumped in. I thought it might have cut the whole Zoom session off. So, you know, these things happen. I had a power cut. There's nothing I could do. I had to restart the computer, jump back in, and Angela's just rolling with it. Yeah. So I'll leave you with your website.
We can do it on our own here.
You just run it. You don't need me, do you?
Oh, that's great. So now I just actually saw the picture froze. So that is why I thought it was my picture, but then I saw on Facebook it was working. So, but that's great. That is what it is. And that is what I love actually by doing live converting events, because they're not perfect. And I don't think that anyone is actually perfect. So that is why I love them. I love the imperfect part of running live, actually, and those little glitch that comes, because that shows people that you can do this without being perfect. And I think that is important as well, for a side note. Okay, so I'm going to start by talking about 2 main things when it comes to lead generation. First of all, I really want to encourage you to focus on quality and not quantity when it comes to leads. You want to have ready to buy, when you're running a challenge, you want to have ready to buy leads for the challenge to convert really well, okay? It's way better to have 300 quality leads than 2,000 that couldn't care less what you are doing, okay? And when we chase numbers, we only chase whoever want to sign up, that we don't care at all about the quality. That is when you end up with huge lists where you make very little money from, okay? So when I go through the strategies, they are meant to aim for quality and not just anyone, just so you have that in mind. The number 2 things that I want to talk about is the difference between lead generation and marketing. So I want you to think about lead generation as a one-time transaction. You give something and you get an email address. Someone download your freebie. Someone sign up for your challenge, okay? It's a one-time transaction. And I usually say, like, this is actually from my coach that I have on my own, is that lead generation is like picking a fruit from a tree. You pick the fruit, okay? Marketing is when you plant that tree that is going to give you fruits or leads for a very long time, okay? And your challenge is what's going to help you grow that tree. Because when you run your challenge over and over again, and people join and they understand the value that you can bring to them, that is also going to elevate your visibility online. You're going to become an expert. And that alone is going to help you get way easier to get leads, right? And in the beginning of our entrepreneurial journey, we focus on a lot on lead generation. And of course, that is something we need to do in the beginning. But in the long run, just focus on lead generation is kind of short-sighted. You want to nurture those leads, grow that tree, because that is what's going to give you leads for life, okay? So that is a little bit about the difference, and we work with both lead generation and marketing, okay? And today I'm just going to talk about lead generation. And if I ever get invited back, I could share about how we do marketing as well. But when I go through the strategies, it's only for one-time transaction, a lead, to get a lead to join your challenge, okay? And when we run live converting event challenges that are over 5 to 9 days long, we aim for at least 300 signups. And that is because we want to be on the safe side, so we have a really successful challenge. Even if we are brand new, we might crafting a new offer, we might switch niches, whatever, okay? So we try to aim for 300 leads. And one other reason for that is that we try to do lead generation for 30 days. That means 10 leads per day. So it's easy when you have the numbers in place. So I'm going to encourage you to do lead generation for a challenge for 30 days and hit minimum of 300, okay? And I'm going to go through strategies so you have them. So you don't need to worry about that. So first part, mindset. So I'm going to just share a little bit around this, because out there on the in kind of social media, whatever, you have actually millions of people, billions of people to access. They are everywhere, and it's absolutely free to actually connect with them and engage with them, okay? And the main reason why a lot of people never kind of has success generating leads is kind of that we think about lead generation in the wrong way. We kind of have the wrong mindset around it. Because lead generation in itself can actually be fun, even if we don't, you might not think so, but it can be really fun, and it can be really simple, can be really easy, it can be really engaging, and it can actually be of huge service to your market. And that is because when you when you are presenting an opportunity for your market to come to you and learn something, to get a solution to a problem they have, you are being of service. And most people don't really think about lead generation in that way, right? We don't think at it as it's a service to our market. And before we kind of talk about strategies, you need to understand that there won't be any strategies that kind of matters if your mindset, if your energy isn't aligned with whatever outcome that you want, okay? And when you offer kind of opportunity to participate in your challenge, you are being of service for those people, because you're creating that kind of bridge from where they are over here having a problem to where they leave from your challenge, problem solved. It's that bridge. That is an opportunity for people, right? And in the bottom of the line, you are being of service when you present a solution to people's problems, okay? And if you're a business owner and you are not kind of loud and proud about the way that you help people and invite them to help, it's kind of like having a party and your party is your challenge, but you don't invite anyone, okay? And when we do lead generation for challenges, we think about the lead generation as handing out an invitation to get inside and get the problem solved. Okay, so that is all about mindset, and we kind of do this in our business all the time. So it's kind of, we want this magnific outcome over here. We want something 6 figures, we want 10 clients, we want 10K a month, whatever over here. But we kind of don't put the energy in that matches that. And the energy, when it comes to invite people to participate in your challenge, the energy of the invitations needs to match the expectation, whatever you want over here. That needs to match, okay? And I mean, if you kind of want people to sign up and show up to your challenge, you need to put your passion, your focus, your discipline, your consistency in handing out those invitations, okay? And kind of hopefully that makes sense for everyone, because if you're resisting inviting people to your party or guests to your party, to your challenge, we can't get upset when people don't show up. You know, we can't be upset when people don't show up. I mean, there are millions of people out there that need what you have. They need your solution. And sometimes I see kind of entrepreneur get stuck a little bit in their own head. So it's like, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to talk about my business too much. I don't want to feel spammy. I don't want people to get annoyed. And you need to remember that you're a service provider. It doesn't matter if you run a program or a course, you're still a service provider. It's your job to give solution to people's problems. That is your job, right? And we need to kind of be really loud and proud about that, because when you start making kind of, I don't want to bother people, I don't want to talk about my business, I don't want to do that, or it becomes kind of about you. But it's not about you, it's about them, because it's them who has the problem. And if you have the solution and you're a service provider, it's your job to invite them to get the solution to the problem they have. I hope that makes sense, because that is not something we sometimes talk so much about. So when we talk about lead generation, we just talk strategy. Strategy. And we are out there kind of chasing leads and try people to sign up in all kinds of different ways. But if you shift your mindset and you look at what you actually bring to the table in your challenge, actually bring the solution to people's problem, and you see that as an opportunity for people to join you and get a problem solved, you are being of service. You should be loud and proud about what you're doing. I hope that really encourage people to see lead generation in a way different way than a lot of marketers do. Okay, so that is why I wanted to just cover a little bit about lead generation, because I don't see lead generation as lead, I see it as invitation. So when I go and I want to get 300 people for my workshop, I invite people. That is what I do. I hand out invitations to people that have this problem that I'm going to solve for them inside my workshop. Okay, so I want to really encourage you to shift your mindset around lead generation, because it can actually be a huge service and it can be fun. Okay, so I just want to cover that. And then I said to you that we normally do lead generation for 30 days, and that is of course up to you, but we do it because it's easy to have 30 days, 10 leads per day to try to hit that goal. So we have 300 people, and that is just because it's easy to count as well, and we are on the safe side. So how much energy do we need to put in? Because I said the energy of invitation should match the energy of expectations, right? So how much energy? I mean, so if I say 30 days, it feels like, oh my God, I'm going to be on social media for 30 days. So I'm going to give you some tip. And I listened right before, and you covered a little bit about how to repurpose content. And I'm going to build on that a little bit, okay? Because what we do is that we create signature challenges. That means we run the same challenge over and over and over again. One strength or one power by doing that is the repurpose of content, right? That is one of the biggest things. It's like 75% of your invitations you can just use the next time around. That is one power by doing signature events. Like you do the same challenge over and over again with the same landing page. You almost have the same email sent out. So you never have dead links, for an example. That is another part. It also builds your brand, but also the repurpose of content. And we do that. So up to the challenge, the 30 days before, you also need to understand that people need to see something online. I think it's 25 times or something before they take action. And if you combine that with that only 5 to 6% of the people that you have on social media actually sees your content, you understand that you need to be on everywhere almost 30 days in a row, right? Because there might be one person that just see one post out of those 30 posts that you put out there. And then all of a sudden we feel like, oh my God, I'm going to craft out and be on social media almost every day. So I'm going to go through an easy step as the most simplest way to craft invitations for your workshop or challenge. Okay. And that is also the reason why we need to do it simple, because if we complicate this, you're going to get exhausted. And I have been there, so I know exactly how that feels, because I have been there really exhausted because I did challenges on different subjects every month, which means I needed to create new content every month. And now I don't. I almost create 0 new content for my invitations, okay? And this is just a tip. So this is how I do it. And you can do it however, but this is how I teach also inside my incubator, is that we kind of, let's say you have a challenge and it's a month from that, okay? Then we block in our calendar 2 to 3 hours. So you just block your calendar, okay? That is your creating content time, okay? You try to create both evergreen content, that is content with invitations that you can use the next time. So you don't say the date. You might say we start on Monday or something like that. So you actually can reuse it, okay? And then you do content that you actually can say the specific day, okay? Then you take out 10 sweatshirts, you know, or skirts or whatever. And then you start recording, and you record maybe 20 to 40 short videos. Remember, people don't need 20 minutes for you to explain your invitation. Use short content. That is the lead generation content for a sign up, like that, short. So it could be like, I could take out my phone and I could say like, hey guys, I'm teaching another workshop on how to have a 5-figure launch. If you're interested in making 2022, the year where you close 6 figures, I'm hosting that workshop next week. The link is in my bio. As simple as that. You don't need to complicate this, because when we start making it complicated, it starts to become really kind of stressful, okay? So what took it? It took like 10 seconds or something, if I took out the phone as well, okay? And then you just take a couple of pictures, change shirt, and then you record another video, and then you change shirt, right? All of a sudden, during those 3 hours, you have actually maybe 20 to 40 videos. You have maybe 20 to 40 pictures that you can use. 75% of them you can use the next time around if you do signature, that you talk about the same thing, okay? So when you think about preparing for your challenge, you want to think about creating both evergreen and kind of time sensitive, or whatever it's called when you have the date. Super easy. And there is kind of, when I started out building my business, I was still a truck driver. So I was living in the truck from Sunday to Friday every week. So when I crafted out my content, I did it on lunch breaks, in a parking spot, in the trailer, Sometimes I didn't even have any place to take a shower. Yeah, I did it anyway. So that's kind of, you don't need to complicate it, okay? It's kind of easy when we craft it that way. We just put together short invitations during a 3 hour. It's kind of easy to just push it out in 30 days. All of a sudden, you don't need to start creating things. You just push it out, right? So you don't need any kind of fancy camera, fancy tools or anything like that. I mean, I still record all my short videos using my phone. Because as soon as we make it complicated, when we overcomplicate it, you get stuck. We immediately get stuck and we think that, oh, it wasn't good enough. The background wasn't good enough. And I kind of, as I said before, the imperfect thing is one of the powers, because you want to show your people that they can do whatever you teach them, even if they're not perfect. And I mean, I travel full time, and my background can look like a circus sometimes, because I rent Airbnb, right? So it can look, I live like a circus. I travel full time, I live like a circus, but I still do that because no one cares. They care about your invitation to get a problem solved, okay? So don't overcomplicate it, right? So what can we say when we want to make people sign up? So what should you have in the content? So I'm going to give you 7 questions that you can answer. And remember, short micro content, like short posts, short videos. Because when it comes to lead generation content for sign up for a challenge, they don't need 30 minutes, 20 minutes for you to do an invitation, okay? So I'm going to give you some questions that you can answer in your invitations. So write this down. One question you can answer is, how is this challenge going to help people? So it could be like anything, like, hey, do you want to lose a dress size? I'm hosting a challenge next week where I will teach you how you can change the way you see food and dress size before midsummer. Do you want to join? The link is in my bio. That is how it helps people. Doesn't need to be more complicated. What problem are you solving? What is the problem that you solve with your challenge? Could be any problem, okay? What are the struggles you are removing? Because that is not sometimes the same as what problem. So for me, the problem I solve in my challenge is a way to scale the business, a way to sell to many people at the same time. But the struggle I'm removing is the struggle not feeling that they have enough time with their families, or they are stuck in tech. That is the struggle. That is not sometimes the same as the problem. So sometimes we can think a bit further, okay? So how is the challenge going to help people? What are the problems you are solving? What are the struggles you are removing? You could answer the question, what is the difference that it's going to make in their lives? For me, it could be, I'm hosting a challenge teaching you how to scale so you can spend more time with your family. That could be it. Do you want to sign up? Comment below. Okay. What is the result that they're going to get? What is the outcome when they leave? For me, it's how to craft together a workshop. So it could be you are going to leave having all the framework, all the content for your next workshop. Do you want to join? Comment yes below. Okay. What are they going to learn? What are you going to teach inside every day in your challenge? You can just say, I could say like, I'm like this one. I'm going to teach you how to generate leads. Do you want to join? Comment below, you know? So what are they going to learn? And the last one, what is the outcome that they are going to achieve? And those are questions that you just can answer when you do the invitation, okay? Because this is why people are going to sign up. The result, the solution, the change it will do in their lives, the struggle it will remove, and the outcome that they are going to get. Okay, so that is what you want to aim for when you do this small content. Link is in the bio. Yeah, so Jennifer, is when like on link for Instagram, for an example, you can't have a link that is clickable. So you need to have the link up in your bio section. So they need to go there to click. So that is why I say link is in my bio. Okay. So I'm going to get back to the questions. Maybe David can collect them. So I have strategies as well, so that I want to go through. But I hope that helps you to create some more simple content. Don't get caught up in tech. Don't get caught up, it needs to be perfect. It's way better to have it not so perfect and answer the right question. What is going to help people with? What are the outcome? And focus on that. And not overcomplicate it, okay? And make it simple. That is my biggest suggestion for all of you, okay? Make it simple. So, strategies, okay? So we're gonna go through strategies and make sure you have your pen and paper. So, number one, this is one strategy that a lot of people don't think about at all. So not a lot of people do it, is when you hand out an invitation to someone, you might be someone saying yes. So it could be, do you want to lose a dress size? I'm hosting a challenge next week, teaching you how to change the way you see food. Do you want to join? Comment below. And then here are Sarah. So Sarah says, yes, I would love to join. Oh, amazing, Sarah. I'm so excited that you want to join for my workshop. Here is the link to sign up. And please invite a friend that you can do this challenge with. You extend the invitation one more step. And sometimes we think like, yeah, but they will invite people. No, they don't, okay? You need to tell them that it's okay for them to invite people. It's your challenge, it's your job, it's your job to make that happen. So I have that for an example. When people register for my workshop, in their email they get, it actually says like, invite some kind of friend that you want to do this challenge with, and you can hold each other accountable, right? Always extend the invitation one more step as soon as someone says yes. It's one of the simplest, absolutely easiest way to get more leads, because a lot of people actually bring other people in. And the more you run your challenge, the more people know that it's really valuable to be a part of your challenge, the more they will invite other people. And that is no job for you, okay? So that is number one tip, strategy, number one. Strategy number two is, of course, to invite your email list. And in the beginning, you might not have an email list, but when you have run a couple of challenges, you start to build your email list, right? And some people need to join your challenge a couple of times before they invest in you. They might join. I have people that have joined me for a year before they invested in my incubator. So you want to invite the email list. And I really recommend at least 3 invitations for your challenge to your email list to sign up, okay? Number 3, social media. So now we come to the time when you take all that content you created during the 3 hours and you push it out on social media, right? And here a lot of people get, oh, it takes so much time, I need to spend hours on social media. Well, if you try the way I said, like block and create all the content, so you already have it, and you do content that you can repurpose all the time, it doesn't take so much time. You just need to push it out, okay? And what is important here to think about is whatever platform you are on, use it to its fullest, okay? Use it to its fullest. Maximize it. Let's say you are on a platform. Can you go live? Go live. Can you do videos? Go post videos. Post videos. Can you do polls? Do polls. Can you do reels? Do reels. Can you do stories? Do stories. Because whatever platform you use the function that is actually on the platform. So for an example, you shoot a short video. You can use that video in a post. You can use that video in a reel. You can use that video in a story. You can use that video on Instagram in an ordinary post, right? You can take the transcript from that short video, that short invitation. You can create text from whatever that you say in that invitation. That text can be used in a poll, like yes, no. It can be used in a story with a link, or yes, no. So always take whatever and just use it to its fullest, okay? And that is the easiest way to be able to get a lot of exposure, even if you're just on one platform, okay? If you're on several, you just split it out, okay? So make sure you use videos, live stories, pictures, reels, polls, text, short text, long text, whatever, testimonials. You can use a different kind of stuff. But what all this lead generation invitation must have is a call to action, right? For signing up for your challenge. It doesn't need to have a link, like sign up on the link or like that. You make it fun. Comment below, say yes below, send me a DM, click on the link in my bio. Can you resonate with this? I want to hear a hell yes in the comment section. Make it fun, okay? Make it fun, but you need to do it with call to action on all the posts, okay? A call to action is when you ask people to do something, like click below or click on the link in my bio. A call to action on all the posts, okay? That is important. And think about that. You want to have clear questions. You want to kind of not confuse people. So don't do like, hey, I'm hosting a workshop next week. If you want to join, you can either click on the link, you can send me a DM. If you have any questions, you can email me or whatever, because just one call to action, okay? Comment below or send me a DM, one call to action, because as soon as people get two choices, they don't choose, okay? So just have one call to action and you are going to get them to understand exactly what they need to do, okay? And try to use, as I said, micro content for all this, because use short, quick, easy to the point invitation, because people don't need like 15 minutes to get to the point that you're trying to invite them. Just invite them, okay? They want to know like, how can this help me? Is this bringing value to me? Is this going to help my problem? Is this going to answer my questions? They don't need 15 minutes for you to tell that. I could easily like do an invitation like, do you want to craft a high converting masterclass that is going to give your clients on repeat? Comment below. It doesn't need to be more complicated, okay? So use micro content for the lead generation for your challenge, okay? That is my absolute biggest tip. So that was number 3, social media. Across platform, the content that you created, okay? Number 4, weekly live. Since I love live, I do weekly live, of course, but I can say that, let's say, something that I'm not going to cover today is, of course, people need to trust you before they invest in you, okay? There is nothing that creates more trust for a person than live like this. The interaction you get with people like this, there is no post in the world that can give that for you. That is why challenges are so powerful, because you take people that are cold, we call them kind of cold, they don't know you. And instead of them following you and read your text for 3, 4, 5, 6 months before they feel like, yeah, I think I trust this person, you bring them into a challenge. They get to like you, they get to know you, they trust you, they buy. And weekly live is one kind of way to start building that trust and to start handing out invitations. Will they be like massive people join the first time? No. But in the long run, you can use that for not only use it as content, but to build the trust. Those weekly live, you can put everywhere. Let's say you go live on Facebook, you download that video, you do a transcript, boom, you have a text post, right? You put it on LinkedIn, you put it on YouTube, you do reels with it, you can cut it up. Those weekly live doesn't need to be more than 10 to 15 minutes. Actually, it's kind of good when they are around 15 to 20 minutes, not longer, because people sometimes don't have time to watch an hour video. So I try, of course, to have my short, but they usually end up in half an hour. But I really recommend you maybe 10 to 20 minutes for a weekly live on that platform, wherever you want to be. Okay, so it could be whatever, and then you download it and then you create content from that live. Okay, and in those live, of course, for your upcoming challenge, you have the call to action to join your workshop, okay, or your challenge. So that was number 4, weekly live. Number 5 is Facebook groups. And here is, of course, when I say Facebook group, people always think about, oh, but they don't allow promotion. And I kind of don't like the mindset of I'm going to a group and I'm going to promote myself. Because I believe in going into a group and share value and connect with people and then invite them. That is a way more strong way, because you want to have leads that are qualified, that actually like the solution you have to the problem. Because not everyone, some people want to run ads, right? Will they sign up for your organic marketing course? No, because that is not for them. They want to do that. And people do what they want, okay? So I believe when you join a group, instead of thinking, I'm going to go into this group and I'm going to promote, think to yourself, I'm going to go into this group, I'm going to share value, and I'm going to build connections. And those people are going to come to you. Because when you share value and you build really strong connection in groups, instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to go in and promote, that is going to attract an audience in a way different way. Okay. And I go live in all groups that I can possibly get my hands on, that I am allowed to go live, because I think that is one of the best way to build my trust. But you can go in and just start commenting on posts where you see there is a dream client. Maybe someone is struggling with a problem. They ask a question. Say that you have the solution. Don't be ashamed of your solution, because that is what's going to help them. Okay. So build connection in groups. If the groups actually allow promotion, yeah, promote. Okay, use that function. If they say, oh, you are allowed to promote here, promote. But never ever underestimate the power of bringing value and serve the audience, because that is what's going to attract them. Okay, that is what's going to build the trust, and they are going to say hell yes when you ask them. Okay. So that is strategy number 5 is, of course, Facebook groups. And then strategy number 6 is to create Facebook events. Of course, you can do it on your personal profile, invite your friend, your Facebook page, invite your friends, other people's groups, and you can invite your friends, and of course your own group. You can always create an event in your own group, and you create the event, you share whatever that challenge is going to be about, and then you have your link to sign up. Everyone that says I am going is totally fine to send a message saying, hey, thank you so much for you wanted to join my workshop next week. I'm so happy that you want to join, and this is what I'm going to do for you. Don't forget to sign up. Because when people click going, they are saying yes, right? They're saying yes. So you can always extend that part. So when people have clicked going, you can send them a DM saying, hey, thank you so much. I'm so excited for you. Don't forget to sign up. We start on Monday, 12 p.m. or whatever. Okay. That is number 6, Facebook events. Then, of course, you have LinkedIn events. I'm not sure everyone is on LinkedIn. LinkedIn events is really, really powerful, because you can invite your contacts. So you can pick whoever you want to invite. When they have said, yes, I am interested, you can send them a direct message, because they come up when you click on connection, you get a list and you just click message. And what I really, really recommend you when you do those kind of connection in direct message after they have said yes, make them personal. Don't do copy and paste stuff, and make it personal. Go to their page, stalk them a little bit, check them out, and then you write You can take a little copy and paste, but make sure you make it personal. Like, hey, Sophia, I'm so excited you wanted to join my workshop next week where I'm going to teach you how to change the way you see food. I was actually on your page and I saw this post. I just wanted to say, I just love the way you painted that picture, whatever. And I'm so excited that you wanted to join. Don't forget to sign up. So you make some personal connection, and that way it's going to be way more powerful. Just a tip, okay? So number 6 and number 7 is Facebook event and LinkedIn events. Number 8, referrals, okay? You can ask old clients, you can ask clients you already have, you can ask people in your group, you can actually ask your friends and family to just share your challenge. Just share it, right? And you need to ask. People are not like, yeah, oh, I'm going to share that one. Ask them. You can only get 3 answers, yes, no, or they ghost you. And I always say that no answer is also an answer. So it's 3 answers, right? You can only get that. You can ask them. And I can promise you that your clients are going to love to share that. Or other people that have participated in a challenge that you have had before, okay? So referrals cost you nothing, more than ask. Number 9, collabs. And here you might want to think about who is that person out there that have the same audience as I have, but they serve the audience in a different way. So for me, it could be a mindset or a money mindset coach that we have the same audience, but I do strategy and they do mindset. We can do a collab. And I can promise you, if you just ask people if they want to do a collab, almost everyone say yes, because they also see it as an opportunity to get a new audience. Because there is no such powerful way of getting people than to speak to other people's audience somehow. So do some kind of collabs. Ask yourself, who do I know that have the same audience as I? It could be that they share your post on their Instagram and you let them host a live in your group. You can do different kind of collaboration with other people that have the same audience, okay? So that is another way. Cost you nothing more than ask. Number 10 is, of course, speaking gigs, podcasts, summits, all kinds of speaking gigs. And I can so recommend podcast. It's the best way to reach new audiences. And podcast hosts want to have people on their podcast to interview because you bring new people and they want downloads. So they always let you promote. And if you use signatures, you run the same challenge over and over again. It doesn't matter if you record it tomorrow and they send it out 1 month from now, because that link that you have on New Zenler, of course, is not dead. They can click on that link, right? A month from now, 2 months from now, because that link will not be dead. Don't have dead links. Someone will click somewhere. Lead them further if you have links, right? But the power is that you can be on a podcast, and this should be your goal, on a podcast every week. And it costs you absolutely nothing. And there are so many podcast hosts that are searching for guests that it's actually kind of easy to get a yes, okay? And then, of course, it's summits. Summits run over several days. There are a lot of speakers, and that is, of course, another way. But use that. Number 10, speaking gigs. Number 11, simple giveaways. Ask people to share in your group, invite people, and then you have a giveaway of somehow. Doesn't need to be something that costs you money. Could be like they get a discount or they get a free course or whatever. Could be something small. Doesn't need to be cost you money, okay? And then the last one is, of course, the one that people fear the most, but it's the way it's most simpler, is invitation in direct message. And here I really want to kind of split. I am not talking about go out there and friend request someone and send them an invitation. That is cold outreach. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that are already on your Instagram or already on your LinkedIn, or are in your group or are friends with you already, you have already built some kind of connection because they are following you. Why? Because they love your content. They are your friend because they love what you put out there, right? Those people. And here is kind of amazed me because this is kind of a way to get, you could easily go out and get 300 leads just doing message the people that are already on your platform. And since you know the value that we have talked about, you know the value you bring to people, really bring to people. And then it's easy to invite people because you know what it's going to do for them. You should be loud and you should be proud. So it could be like easy. You have, let's say I'm on you're on my Instagram and you have been there for a while. So we're already connected. You could just send a DM like, hey, Sophia, thanks so much for hanging around on my Instagram. It's really nice to have you here. And I hope you get value from my content. I wanted to let you know that I'm hosting a challenge next week where I'm going to teach XYZ. Do you want to join? You can only get 3 answers. Yes, no, no, or they ghost you. Okay? It's not harder than that. Don't overcomplicate that. And you can, of course, go in and get new connections. Like when they are warmed up, you can easily send them a DM. Okay? But I'm not talking about cold outreach. That is not the same thing. I really want to point that out because some people just hate it. I'm talking about people you have already built a connection with somehow. Okay? And just ask them. You just ask them. You should be loud and proud. You have a solution to a problem they have or a friend of them have. Why are we not inviting them? That is your job. And you can always say when they say, no, thank you, it's not for me, you just say, oh, that's totally fine. But if you know someone, it's going to be massive value. Let them know that I'm hosting it. And then you actually value their no, because people have spent time saying no, and that they didn't ghost you. They actually took some time saying no to you, and that we should honor. So you answer, you say, oh, I'm totally fine. But please, if you have someone that actually would benefit from that, yeah, just invite them. And it's not harder than that, actually. So the strategies, the 12 strategies that I just gave you, they're simple. The strategies are easy. We just need the mindset because, as I said, I can't say this enough, the energy of your invitations needs to match the energy of your expectation, what you expect this challenge to bring to you. The energy over here needs to match that, okay? And that goes from the whole of your business, actually. And we see it kind of a lot that we are not putting in the energy over here. And the reason is, of course, we feel like we do so much and nothing works. And that is why I love simplicity. And I really encourage you to go back to simplicity, to don't overcomplicate it. It don't need to be complicated. It don't need to be perfect. Marketing and lead generation doesn't need to be pretty. It needs to be consistent. That is the one that is going to win. Is not the one with the fanciest font. It's not the one with the perfect looking hair or whatever. It's the one that execute and do the work. That is the one that's going to win. If I do the invitation, how messy they might be, I will win over the perfect one over here that is not putting in the energy. And creating the content is one huge part that is exhausting. That is why I recommend you do the same challenge over again so you can repurpose the content, block the calendar, use micro content for the invitation. The marketing in itself, that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the invitation to sign up for your challenge. Okay. So this is kind of 12 easy strategies. And I think, yeah, I'm actually on time. That is unusual. So I am actually on time because I'm hosting a Q&A session after this. So I have actually practiced this, so I should be able to hold the time. So do we have any questions that were kind of maybe people are eager, because I'm not checking?
No, there's there will be people putting questions in afterwards. Yeah. So like I do say, like, just tag Angela in there on the post, then she'll get a little pop-up come up and she can go in and have a look at the questions that have been put forward. I think that was brilliant though. It was really nice. I love the way that you, instead of calling it lead generation, invitation, because that's what it is. You're inviting, and I love it that whatever you're trying to do, especially like the bit where you're saying, you know, if you're coming along, maybe ask a friend to buddy up with a friend coming. You're doubling your leads by doing that, you know, or even a group. Do you have a group of people? You know, imagine like a group from a group. So and then they're talking about it as well. It doesn't take very long before you're hitting 300 people. That's for sure.
No, it's kind of, and now it sounds like it's so easy, because nothing is easy, and we need to stop saying it's easy. But since it's not easy, we need to do it simple. So we need to simplify it, and that is one way to get leads without doing any more work. You are just telling them, please invite a friend that you can hold yourself they can hold themselves accountable, right? They can do it together. And that worked really well when I was in health and wellness. When I used to work with weight loss, that was one of the most powerful ways of getting more people for me, was that they brought a friend so they could do it together. And I really recommend those kind of strategies, because they're so simple.
Yeah, and it's nice the communicate. I think it's like with these things, it's you just be honest, be transparent, communicate. You're trying to communicate and grab that connection with everybody you're trying to, that touches you, you know. You don't want to be going there and hit them straight away with a big sales thing. They don't know you, and it's kind of rude, you know. That's how I look at it. It's like if you're honest about these things, then I think it just comes around. And the key word, consistency.
Yeah, and that can of course be hard. That is why I love repurpose of content that you talked about before, because that is one way to be able to be consistent, even if we work full time. And when I built my first business that was in health and wellness, I was still a truck driver, so I worked 13 or 15 hours per day driving, so I couldn't do anything. And that was when repurposing content became the number one strategy for me to be able to be consistent on social media.
Yeah, I remember last time you saying you were a truck driver. I was kind of like, whoa, truck driver. Big truck.
I was for 15 years. Yeah, I know. That is a story for another time. But I will go back and I will check all the questions. And if you have any questions or you want me to clarify something, just tag me or send me a DM, and then I can go in and do a post in the new Zenler group with the strategies. I'm going to do one post with all the strategies lined up. So like a transcript or whatever you like to call it, a short, so you can take step by step.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Thank you. So you can see, like Angela, she's just really honest and open about these things, giving you tremendous value. And, you know, that's what makes you want to connect with her, you know. So I started before, I think it was your website. I think it just caused my whole house to just have a power cut. But it just blew everything up. So if it happens again, we know why. Yeah, so this is Angela's website on here. So I've put that into the chat. So if you want to go in there, check out all the stuff she does, because she does do a lot of different stuff. It's quite really interesting stuff. She's really to the point, really gets the message across quickly. And you saw how she handled me just dropping out and just carried on. So yeah, fantastic, Angela.
So happy to help. So thank you so much for me. So I'm going to drop out because I have a Q&A session with my own challenge that I host this week. So I'm just going to switch platform here. So
lovely. All right. Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you. And just reach out if anyone have any kind of questions about what I've talked about. But I will do a post with all the strategies. So
brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you later. See you again soon.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye. Right, so that was Angela. You know, this is really, it's so funny because when you go on these things about reusing content and, you know, and then Angela carries on from that and expands on that. So we've had Mammy at the beginning with journeying, we've had mindset from Liz, Alice about repurposing content and good, you know, all the good things involved in that. And then to move on to the other things of like, you know, just actually the marketing and these strategied approaches that Angela says. So now what we have is we have Eran coming up in about 1 minute's time. And Eran's going to be taking us over how to list build. And this is going to be really exciting. We had Eran on before. You guys know him, just like Angela, prolific helpers in the group, just like Tracy this morning. These are really, really nice people that just offer their time for absolutely nothing. So you can tell they're really genuine. Eran helps a lot of people with their sites. He does do Zenler sites. He does a lot of other things as well. He's an expert in that area. And you know, he loves Zenler, so he uses Zenler. He uses other things as well. So we have Eran joining us any second. I'll just give him the nudge, and then he'll pop up. I think he was just finishing his presentation for this, so he's a busy man. So yeah, a really busy day today. Power cuts. I was off surfing between the 3 hours between the first session and second session. So it's going well. By the way, a little thing of interest, if I hadn't have made Angela a co-host when she came in, if I had dropped off, the whole session would have closed. So when someone comes in, I make them a co-host. And I do this for a reason. If I do have a power cut, then their co-host role changes from co-host to host. Okay, so it means you haven't dropped it. Yeah, you're not there, and it's kind of like, but they can carry on. It's a live stream. I then log straight back in with the same Zoom link, and I can just pop up like I just did. However, I had to get Angela to make me host again because she had reverted to host. So this is a little tip for you just to know. So Eran's dropped in now. So the first thing I do when I see Eran come in, I just make him a co-host. And that way, if anything goes wrong with my system, it's not going to cut out and he will then turn into the host. Hello, Eran. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
All good. Yeah, I had a power cut earlier. So Angela was like freestyling for a bit. But she handled it.
As it happens when you go live.
It does, yeah. Sometimes it can happen. It's like I was saying, it's quite funny because if you actually make someone a co-host and I was to drop out, then you become the host, so you can carry it on. So that's why I make everyone that's joining me, I make them co-hosts just in case that happens. So if it does happen, Eran, if my whole power cuts, you just carry on, yeah? You can handle it.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
All right. So, Eran, I'm going to let you just carry on with the presentation. I'm going to be showing Eran's site right at the end when you finished. When you need me, just shout my name and I'll pop up. Yeah, so it's going to be really good list building today. I'm going to be using funnels. So I'm going to let Eran take it away. He's pretty experienced in this stuff. I don't need to intro him. He can do it himself.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So yeah, I wanted to cover today list building strategies, and I was thinking about it, like what do I really want to present and make it a little bit more action-based training versus showing another tutorial. And I think tutorials are wonderful. There's lots of them, but I think the bigger value I'll be able to provide today is just give you some solid action steps with regards to your list building strategy with Zenler, because Zenler is a tool. And if you know how to use the tool, it's a very, very powerful tool. And it's really important to know how to use it, right? And what I did is I actually created a checklist, and let me just share it with you now. I think it'll be just to give you a quick overview, and I'll kind of freestyle with this particular checklist. And then you guys can give me feedback if you have any questions and stuff like that. So this is an action checklist, right? And some people watching this might be nowhere near having any of this done, and they're just getting started. Maybe they're on a free trial with Zenler. Maybe they've had a Zenler account for a year. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that when you go through these checklists, you'll be able to be like, yep, I have that. Yep, I have that. Yep, I have that. Or no, I don't have that one actually. And then hopefully with me going through this checklist, I'll be able to actually find some holes in what even if you have something, hopefully I'll be able to find some holes with your existing lead generation funnel, okay? And I'll kind of take you through those steps. So let's just focus on the first step, which is usually it's a lead magnet, right? And the lead magnet is the hook, the thing that you're gonna give somebody for free, if it's gonna be valuable for them to wanna give you their email address. And I wanted to stress, because everybody probably knows what lead magnet is or whatever, I wanted to stress something that I think doesn't get enough attention, and that's a catchy name, okay? If you're actually missing having a catchy name for your lead magnet, you are missing out on the whole point of the lead magnet. To create a really good lead magnet, you gotta think of it sequentially, okay? And the sequence is really simple. Number one, who is your ideal customer? And is that ideal customer thinking about their existing pain points? What are those pain points? Or what are those struggles? Or what is it that they will probably want your help with? And typically, what people come up with names, they just think of a name that they think it's cool, but you want to give them a name that actually creates some sort of a mystery, not just a cool name or a nice name. Like if I was to say my lead magnet is email marketing ebook, that's just boring, right? That's just a boring name for a lead magnet. So for example, my lead magnet for that particular lead magnet, the name for that email marketing topic is 9 email marketing tips to help you with your open rates, deliverability, and sales. Okay. So that is just a way more interesting, like engaging lead magnet name. Okay. I'm not talking about the lead magnet. I'm not talking about the content. Obviously, I assume that your content on the lead magnet is going to be valuable. Okay. I'm just going to assume that in advance. But no one's going to read that content unless that name is like super cool. And I'll tell you how you can actually test if your lead magnet name is cool and if it's really good. Because that name that I've just given you, 9 email marketing tips to help with open rates, deliverability, and sales. That is a proven headline that I use for that lead magnet. Now, the way I know it was proven is because what I did is I went to a Facebook group where other people who are my ideal customers were really like engaged in and so on. And I basically took the text, the headline, and posted it on the top of my post. And then I said, just curious to know, wanted to get feedback. I'm creating this lead magnet. Wanted to know if anybody have any feedback. This is the headline that I'm thinking. And then I could see if the engagement is good or not good, or people are like, oh my God, this is so interesting or whatever. And that's just a really good way to test, is your lead magnet any good? The headline I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the content, I'm talking about the headline. And when the headline is good, you have a really good solid base to know that you can actually get an email list out of it. Because people, a lot of times people think, if I write a really good ebook or a really good PDF, really good content, people are going to want to work with me further. Well, they're never going to read your content unless your headline is really good. So your main focus at first should really be on that headline. Now, maybe you want to write the content first and then know what the headline can promise. That's okay. But you really want to focus on that headline. So think about it this way. If I was to do a post in a new Zenler group right now and say, everybody post the name, not the lead magnet, just the name of your lead magnet. And if you were to read through the comment section, it'll be really interesting to see who's got really good names. And you're going to be able to see immediately, you're going to read the comments, you'll be like, no. And it'll be like, oh my God, this one's interesting. I wonder what this guy has to say in his lead magnet. And you'll find a really good way to figure out that name, okay? So that's list building strategy number 1, which I feel is very badly missed, okay? And the value of testing it in a Facebook group where your ideal customer hangs out, that is even a bigger opportunity missed. Because what I see a lot of times is, and me as a coach, you know, when people come to me as a coach, I don't brand myself as a coach. When people come to me and say, Eran, could you give me your feedback on this lead magnet? I say, why are you showing it to me? I'm not your ideal customer. And they're like, what do you mean? I say, I can give you feedback. That's okay. I can give you feedback on the headline or this or that. I'll give you my feedback. But my feedback is actually not as important as you going out there, because you're missing out on an opportunity to engage in the environment where your ideal customer hangs out. So that's a massively missed list building strategy that people don't quite associate in my experience. So that's point number one. By the way, do we have comment section, or just so I know if I've got feedback, people are hearing me, are they interesting? Are they getting bored? Do they, you know, I'd love to know. I'd love to know. I mean, I can rattle on, you know me, but you know.
Yeah, we got some stuff. There's feedback. There's people in there. It's always a little bit quiet this time of day, but people catch up on the replays. But yeah, we've got Kaya's in there saying I recorded a Zoom meeting with 80 people and a famous guest in New Zenler. Who was that? It might have been you. And it disappeared. How can it be? So she did a Zoom meeting, but that's kind of a tech issue. You just need to make sure you've got local recording, not cloud recording, turned on for that. Okay. Jim's still here. He's in here, and he's asking about LinkedIn. So waiting for comments to come in. You carry on, Eran. I will
carry on, and then you can shout out all the comments later or do the Q&A at the end. Okay. Sounds good. How much time do I have, by the way, just so I know what's my...
Oh, however long you want, Eran.
Okay. We'll do a good half hour, and then we'll go to Q&A. 20 minutes, half hour, we'll go to Q&A. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Good. So we've covered this aspect. Now, creating the lead magnet, typically you would do it on Canva, Google Docs, that, you know, and I'll give you a little hint. If you're watching my presentation right now, observe where I'm creating it. I'm creating it on Google Docs. Why would I be creating it on Google Docs? Because I can then take this checklist that I created as a little thing. I can turn this into a lead magnet, right? This thing, I could now take this, convert it into a PDF by clicking right here and download as a PDF, and I will have a lead magnet. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, complicated, or anything like that. Okay, now obviously what I can include in the lead magnet, I could be like, oh, by the way, watch this tutorial on how to make use of this checklist, and then I'll take this recording, chop it, and then say, okay, good, here's the tutorial. That's a lead magnet right there. Okay, so the lead magnet content, that's not the difficult part. The difficult part is coming up with a freaking good catchy name that people are going to be like, oh yeah, I want to know what this one is. Okay, so I'll just write down, just so you can see, 9 email marketing tips to help you with open rates, deliverability, and sales. Right, so if somebody who wants to know more, for example, about email marketing, let's say, because you know, that's the topic that I'm referring to. If they know they need better open rates, people opening their email, they know they need better deliverability, and they know they want sales. And they're like, well, what are the 9 email marketing tips? Why not 8? What's the thing? You know, so this was a very carefully chosen name. Okay, so that's that. Next, let's talk about opt-in page / landing page. So this is, you can set this up in New Zenler, obviously. And what I feel that people, I'll tell you what I feel people miss on the landing page, opt-in page, is the headline. And I'll tell you what the headline is going to be. The headline is what you just tested right here in your lead magnet. So if the headline says free PDF, 9 email marketing tips to help you with open rates, deliverability, and sales, now that is a catchy headline. So what you're doing to capture people on social media and be like, oh yeah, I want to hear about that, and they go there, then that is what the headline is going to be to really capture attention. Now, quick disclaimer, my opt-in page for this lead magnet is actually not live because anyway, I'm actually revising my email sequence. I actually don't even have to give it to you, but anyway, that's just something that, you know, separately, if you want it, I can give it to you, whatever, but that's not even available for me to show you. David at the end will show you a different landing page that I have. So then this is an example, and this is actually the foundation of your opt-in page. Now, there's many variables on how you can create your landing page or opt-in page. I'm just going to show you one example right here of mine. And really, I can give you a really simple formula. Have a headline with a CTA, call to action, like this one, free ebook, 21 tips, productivity tips and hacks. Have a sub-headline that gives a bit of value, right? How to stay focused, productive, organized, and productive. Have 3 bullet points on what's in it for me. Now, I'm not showing it in this picture. I have a few other bullets there, but a bullet point will be something like the 3 things, like why should I even download it, right? Like, for example, a bullet point for this type of an ebook, how to stay focused, organized, and productive. So how to eliminate how to eliminate the overwhelm or confusion or procrastination that happens to 99% of people in the first 10 minutes of first hour of the day. That will be like a bullet point number 1. Bullet point number 2 will be, you know, I'm kind of coming up with random stuff. The secret hack to make your to-do list actually useful versus what everybody else does, as an example. That's just another little bullet point. So try to come up with 3 different bullet points, have a little picture, either of yourself or the freebie. And if you want to have testimonials, that's okay too. Don't overdo it. 3 testimonials is good enough. Name, email, that's it. Okay. So that is another, that's just a quick how to do the opt-in page, landing page, just headline, sub-headline, picture, 3 bullet points, 3 testimonials, call to action button. That's it. Keep it simple. Okay. Now, here is another huge missing piece on list building strategy. And I can tell you, I get probably, I don't know the exact number right now, but I probably get 5 to 10 new email addresses, probably 5 new email addresses every day because of this strategy. And this strategy is called the exit pop-up strategy. If you don't have an exit pop-up strategy, you are literally leaving money on the table, and it's just such a waste. And here's how this works. Everybody, pretty much, including me, we all work so hard to build content on social media. Like, we do so much content on social media to try and get leads, try to build an audience and things like that. You know, create free content, YouTube videos, Instagram posts, going on Facebook Live, whatever. By the time we actually have somebody be interested enough in us wanting to do something with us, right? Like, they're like, okay, you know what? I've gotten enough content from this guy. I want to get help. Okay, I want to check out what he has to offer or something like that. By the time they do that, and then they go to your website, okay? So let's pretend that this is your website. They go here, and what happens is that they get distracted and they leave, right? Which is such a shame, because you've just worked so hard for weeks, months to get somebody to build a trust with them to go to your website. And then by the time they get to your website, they bail. Now, maybe they bail because their Wi-Fi died. Maybe they bailed because they got busy. Maybe they were, you know, in a coffee shop while they're browsing on their phone, and they just had their coffee arrive and they just clicked off. Whatever it is, it's just such a waste. And you want to do an exit pop-up. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it on Zenler. It's actually really, really simple. You have this little guy right here, the pop-up. You click on it. Usually I like to click on the settings in the blue. You have some really, really good templates from Zenler that they actually give you in advance. I like to keep mine really simple, so I will do something like that. Change the title. So for example, and then I would do something like don't leave empty-handed, something like that. I would make this big, and I would even make it in red, right? So the background, I'll make it in red. I'll do something like this. Oops. And then I would actually change it. So the background is in red. The text is in a different color, maybe white, something like that. And then it's just a little bit more prominent, right? Now, you don't have to do it this way. You can do it, whichever way you want, really, right? But the point is that it's going to be like in your face, like, oh, what is that, right? It's going to be a lot more interesting, and it's going to be a lot more catching. So if somebody sees that when they try to leave, they're going to be like, oh, what is this, right? So this is something that I definitely recommend you set up, and this is how you do it. Once you get it set up, you do the usual things when you actually add them to an email list and things like that. So you do it under settings, submit the form, add them to a specific email list, add them to a specific funnel to trigger the email automation, and create a thank you page, which we'll get to all that in a moment. Okay, this is just how you create a pop-up. So if you don't have a pop-up right now, like this is something for you to literally, like you should be making a note. Go to every single page on your Zenler website, i.e. any funnel, any blog, any website. If you don't have a pop-up on those pages, you are literally throwing the potential to build your email list away, because you're sending traffic there and you're not capturing details, okay? So I get, I don't know, 5 to 10 new email subscribers every single day because of doing that strategy. So huge importance in doing that, okay? So this is the action step for you. Do you have an exit pop-up on other pages on your website, not just your landing page? Have it on your landing page, because they might see your landing page and not want to opt in, but when they see the pop-up, they opt in. So this is really important, okay? Next thing, let's talk about a thank you video. This is another thing that I see hugely missing. A lot of times what people do is on this section where it says post submit action right here, they leave it blank. And what it means is that Zenler will by default say, thank you so much for submitting your email, or whatever the wording is. I don't remember exactly, but because I never do it, right? But whatever the wording is, that's what's there. Now, what you want to do is you want to do a thank you video and post it and link it right here. Now, the thank you page. Now, the thank you page needs to have a video. If you don't have a thank you video, again, you are missing out massively on an opportunity to build a relationship. Now, it goes back to the same thing that I mentioned earlier. Think about it this way. You've been creating free content on social media. You're doing Facebook Lives, you're doing Instagram posts, you're spending an hour creating posts on Canva. You're doing all this effort to get somebody to your page. Finally, they enter their name and email, and you just say, thanks for your email, thanks for submitting. Like, oh my God, this is such a wasted opportunity. The whole point of that thank you page and thank you video is to now build that relationship, right? So you should do something that's like profusely shows your appreciation, but they've took the time to give you their email address and let them know what to do next, okay? Now I'm going to give you an on-the-fly thank you page, thank you video example, okay? Like right now. So pretend that I've just now done like a pause, and now I've changed shirts and I've got a different thing. So let's just pretend that somebody downloaded my ebook, and before you record a video, you always want to think about, okay, what do I want them to do here? Now, in some cases, you might want them to do, just go to their email to collect the freebie and reply to your email so you can get into a conversation. Maybe you want to link some sort of a calendar booking below their video, so then they can actually book an appointment, as an example. Another reason you could do is you actually want to sell them something up front. So you could give them a thank you video that says, thank you so much. The freebie will be arriving in your inbox in a few minutes. While I have your attention, I'd love to share with you an opportunity how you can X, Y, Z, right? And that will be the script for that thank you video. So 1, go check your email. 2, book an appointment. 3, sell something. There'll be kind of the 3 different types of thank you videos that I would be thinking with. Now, I'll do a little video script like right now, just on the fly, and I'll just do it for the option with going to your email to go check and receive it. Okay, so somebody just now I'm gonna be, you or me or whatever. Somebody just downloaded my ebook or whatever, and I'm on the thank you page. So I'm gonna start now. Hey, it's Eran here. Thank you so much for downloading my 21 productivity tips and hacks ebook. I really appreciate you taking the time to download it. Now, downloading it is one thing, actually consuming it and then implementing what I teach you there is really what is super important to me. So what I'd love for you to do right now is to go to your email address. You would have received an email from me, and that email is coming from contact@eranbucai.com. Sometimes it goes to spam or trash. That can happen if I've never emailed you before. So please do check spam or trash just in case. The subject line is "Your book is here," and there's going to be a little like party emoji on the subject line, so you can't miss it, okay? So if you can go check it out right now, check spam and trash, and do me one tiny favor. Our communication is really important to me, and I really want to make sure you actually receive the ebook. And I want you to find that email and reply and just say "done," that I know you received that ebook. That's all I want. I just want to know that you received it, so I can know, okay, you've got the ebook, and then I can check back with you in a day or so to hopefully, find out what you learned from the ebook and how I can help you implement it if that is something that you'd be interested in. Or if you found just one thing in that ebook that is valuable, I'd love to know what that is. So if you can go to your email right now and just find that ebook, that email, and hit the reply button to let me know you received it, I'd really appreciate it. So that's about it. I really appreciate you, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, so that's a demo. Now I'm cutting, okay? This is the end of that particular thank you video. And that's a really great way, because this is, when people talk about list building strategy, collecting an email address means nothing, really. It really means nothing, because I can have 1 million people on my email list. If I don't have a relationship with the people on the email list, if I don't show genuine interest in that list, if I don't email that list, if I don't follow up, if I don't show that care, if I don't really care about them engaging with me, well, it doesn't really matter. It's just a vanity metric, right? And I know people that have, 18,000, 40,000 email lists. God knows how they managed to get it together, but they're not engaging with the list. They haven't emailed a list in a year or 2 years, which is just such unfortunate, because you really can't do anything with that list anymore, right? These are examples from like years ago, right? That's not even like 2-3 years ago. I know somebody that had that, but the point is that can happen, and investing in that thank you video is so valuable, because also, it's such an incredible automation when you think about it, because they're putting your personality out there, and it's just a great way to do it. Now, if you're struggling with the thank you video, by the way, let me give you a little hack now that I think about it, because I know people struggle with it. You've just listened to me rattle off, a 1 minute little thing, right? You can actually go back to this recording, kind of type up what I said, okay? If you liked what I said, type it up. And what you want to do, I want to share my screen. You want to go to a website called qprompter.com, okay? Now, let's just pretend that this is the script that I just said, okay? Let me just refresh. There you go. So then you would then go here, you would paste in the script, you would click on Start Prompter, and you click like this. And now you will just read it off as if you got your camera right in front of you, and you will just read it off. Now, you're gonna sound like a robot at first. Don't worry about it. Just do it like a robot 5, 6, 7 times, just to kind of get the hang of the communication. And once you're like, okay, you kind of have it imprinted in your brain, you've just kind of done it a few times, you can then decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to do it without the teleprompter. And I'm just going to grab my phone, put it right here, and go ahead and record it without the teleprompter, okay? Or you can have the teleprompter kind of going in the background, but you're not really looking at it, but it kind of is there in case you need to, skim over to have a look, okay? So that's another really great way to actually do that particular aspect of the thank you video. But don't not do a thank you video. It is super, super important. Get clarity on what the thank you video, what is the next step of the relationship you want to do. Do you want them to just go check their email? Do you want to sell them something? Or do you want to book an appointment? Okay. So in terms of if you want to sell them something, I'll give you the script. The script is really simple. and I'll do it right now. Hey, it's Eran here. Thank you so much for downloading my ebook. I really appreciate it. It's going to be in your email inbox in about 5-10 minutes. So before it gets there, while I have your attention, I just want to share with you this XYZ, and then you get into talking about something else. And you want to use a really good hook as to why they should pay attention in the next few minutes as well. So, you know, in my case, maybe if I was selling a little course or a membership, I could say something about, you know, I'm going to share with you the 3 biggest problems that people face with technology of setting up their website, and how it can be resolved without paying an arm and a leg to a website developer. Let's just say there will be a hook. You'll be like, oh, I want to resolve that. I don't want to get ripped off by, you know, web developers or whatever. So there'll be a really good hook to get somebody to stick around to listen to my pitch about my tech support membership or my one-on-one service or whatever. Okay, so that is the thank you video script for transitioning to selling something. If you ever see an ad from Ted McGrath, he does this transition so smooth. I mean, so smooth. I mean, he's probably the smoothest guy in doing it, you know. I'm not endorsing his product. I'm just saying, if you want to see somebody who does that transition really well, Ted McGrath does it really well. So anyway, if you just Google his name, you'll probably see his ad on your Facebook feed the next day. So that's just how that works. The next point will be to book an appointment on your calendar. And again, that is another great way to do it, because again, it's not about the email subscriber, it's about the relationship. And what better way is there for you to build a relationship with somebody than to get on the phone with them? Okay. So now this is a tip. This is a strategy I've been testing out. I kind of did that strategy. I didn't, how should I say? I didn't quite have a framework for it before. I just kind of did it because it just felt like the right thing to do. And since it's worked really, really well for me, I've been testing out with my clients, and I kind of gave it a name, and it's called the 50 client strategy. And here's how this works. It's really simple. If you're just getting started online, or selling your service online or whatever, you need to talk to 50 customers, okay? Or 50 potential customers. You just want to talk to them. Now, ideally, when you talk to them, they actually pay you for your coaching session, ideally, okay? But even if they don't, okay, fine, you know, you need to talk to them, because that's how you learn about your ideal customer. That's how you learn about what their pain points are. That's how you learn about what their struggles are, what they need help with, and so on and so forth. And you want to do that. So if you haven't done that conversations in the beginning, your thank you page should be a thank you page where the video is just thank you so much for downloading the freebie or whatever. And by the way, below you will see a calendar where you can book a time to actually have a chat with me. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to do that quickly, how to do that calendar thing. So let me just share my screen on Zenler. So basically you want to do, I need to log into my calendar. You want to click, I'm going to use Calendly as an example. So you want to click, let's pretend that this is the thank you page. So we have the video at the top. 50, pick the 100, add elements, click on video, pick a video. Okay. Now below the video, you click on another block, and then you click on add row, 100%, add element, custom HTML, click on the HTML, and then you go to Calendly. In Calendly, I'm just going to grab my free consult page. I'm going to click on share. Click on add to website, click on embed inline, click on continue, copy this code, go back here, click on the settings button, click on change content, delete what's here, paste in the calendar, and here it is. Okay. Now by default, I think you're not going to see it right away. So I'm just going to refresh. And then when I refresh, I'm going to scroll all the way down. And you'll see here the video that I just did, the demo video, the thank you video, and then the calendar is going to be right here. Now I'll show you another little trick. So you can see how this thing right here, you got this little banner. It's a little bit annoying because it's not taking the space the right way. So what you want to do is you want to go to settings, click on change content, and then look here on the height and just make it bigger. So let's just make it 930. And then save, refresh. And I know I gone really fast doing this. You're welcome to go and watch the replay as well and check it out. Now you see that there's no like that slider left up and down, okay? So you can click on it, book a time, go through, name, email, share what they want to talk about, and those things, okay? If you want to learn how to do that, that's a whole different topic. That's a calendar booking tutorial. And yeah, I'm not going to cover that in this session, but hopefully that's, that's pretty straightforward on the calendar, okay? Now on the calendar, the way I would pitch it on the thank you video is, let me just think. Okay, so I'm going to pretend that I got a different shirt on. I'm going to do a thank you video now. So there you go. Hey, it's Eran here. Thank you so much for downloading the ebook. I really appreciate it. Now, while you're on this page, the ebook is going to give you a tremendous amount of value, but the ebook is generic to help you with your productivity and focus. What I really want to do is I want to add value to you and other people by actually speaking with them to learn more about your particular challenges, your particular situations, and what you might be struggling with your productivity, because I want to also make that ebook better. Now, the best way for me to do that is to really learn about your personal situation, what you're struggling with, and things like that, so I can learn more and add more value. Now, this is no obligation conversation. There's nothing to sell. It is purely me wanting to get on a call and help you to maybe figure out ways to implement things from that ebook or something else, maybe something is missing from the ebook, to help you with your productivity. If you're willing to do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. It's going to be a short 20-minute call. There's nothing to sell. It's not a sales call. There's going to be a booking link below for you to book a time to chat. And I'd love to connect with you further and get to know you on a more personal level. So if you're open to doing that, go below, you'll see the calendar, and I look forward to speaking with you. Thanks a lot. I'll speak to you soon. So that will be, no, I'm cutting, okay? There will be another example of how you do the calendar, okay? Now, one thing I will say, I have this situation not very often, but a lot of times people are doing something like this or a lead magnet, and they're saying, nobody's booking an appointment with me or whatever, or I'm not getting people downloading my lead magnet, or I'm getting a lot of people visiting my website and nobody's responding to my emails or whatever, right? Now, that is okay, okay? There is this acronym that I love. It's called ABT, always be testing, okay? And this is something that you just want to test, because what works in my niche maybe doesn't work in your niche, or it doesn't quite work the same. My personality is different to your personality. Like the thank you videos that I've just kind of shown you how to do, that's way more in alignment with how I am as a person. Like this just, it comes out naturally. It's easy for me to do. And, it's just how it rolls. With somebody else, it might be totally different. For example, I know one person and they really don't like answering emails, okay? They really don't. So they don't want to say on the thank you video, oh, please reply to the email to let me know you received it. Like, I don't want to receive that email, I don't want to do that. I'd rather get on a call with them. I said, okay, fine. Tell them to get on a call with you. That's totally fine. So figure out, what kind of aligns with you, and then do it. I definitely recommend, okay, suck it up on doing a video. I know some people don't like record a video. Do it anyway. It's going to be much better. Your personality is going to shine. It's going to come through, and you'll attract people way better. Okay. So, yeah, always be testing. Let me just have a look where we're at. Thank you video, because that's what we covered. This is on the marketing funnels in New Zenler. One other thing I was doing, I don't have an example to show you, but make sure that your video is uploaded to the Zenler media library. And the reason you want to do that is because when the video finishes, there's no advertising to go to watch other videos. So make sure you use that, because if you're hosting on YouTube your thank you video, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have like, whatever next recommended YouTube video is going to come up next at the end. You don't want that. Okay. So use the Zenler video hosting. They have an incredibly generous video hosting. amazing media library. You get thumbnails options, and it's just a great feature. One of my favorite features in New Zenler is the media library. So use the media library to upload your video and so on. Okay, so I think I've covered enough for one. I'll leave you with a little taste for more. I've got more on this checklist, okay? But I'd love to hear from people if they have any questions and so on. The point is that you want to build that relationship, and that's really, I think, the biggest takeaway is the relationship, and also the catchy name. If there's three things that I would really focus on out of this training, go and review your name. Is your name really that good? Is your name really going to make somebody want to read it, right? Test it with your ideal customer. Second thing, if you don't have an exit pop-up, oh my God, you're missing out. Zenler did a great job with their exit pop-up feature. Go use it. And the last thing is that thank you video, and really knowing the three reasons why you would have a thank you video. You want to go check your email. And by the way, go check your email because you want to have to receive your next emails, right? So you want to make sure, because otherwise, what's the point of getting their email address, right? So that's why it's a very important piece. The second one is the calendar. If you haven't done any if you haven't spoken to clients, talk to 50 clients, okay? And or potential customers. And then the last one is the selling them something, doing a transition. So there you go. That's my little takeaway for you. I know you've been through for hours doing live, so I'm like, I could ramble on. I could carry on, but you've already been through other trainings. I want to keep it like really short, sweet, and concise. So if you can implement those three things, they'll be freaking amazing. And tag me on comments so I can give you feedback. If you want to check your anything, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, this is really good, Eran. And I have a few questions. There's a question coming from Jim. And I'm on this. This is how I feel about it with pop-ups. He said some good points there about thank you video, but I hate pop-ups. They annoy me. So I'm guessing they annoy others too. Well, that's for a fact. They do annoy, but they do work. There are things like pop-up blockers. What's your view on that, Eran?
I totally agree. But the pop-up, there's a very distinct difference in a pop-up and an exit pop-up. An exit pop-up is when they are about to leave. So I don't really care if I annoy them, quote unquote, because they're about to bail anyway. So I want to try to capture their emails. I don't like the pop-up that is like triggering, let's say if you're 10 seconds or immediately, or after 10 seconds, for example. Yeah, if I'm in the middle of writing the page or watching the video and you're like giving this pop-up, I'm like, this is just annoying, right? So I understand. And I understand that also the exit pop-up is really sensitive. So sometimes the person is not trying to leave, but because the mouse cursor moved, the exit pop-up gets triggered, right? Let me tell you, if I have an exit pop-up, I build my email list. If I don't have an exit pop-up, I don't build my email list. So I can tell you another thing. This is another classic comparison. If I was to now ask a question and people leave in a comment and we will do a poll, who loves long sales pages? You know, those long ones that go on forever. Who loves them? You would have 95% of the people here be like, I freaking hate them. And you know what? That's cool. But they convert and they work and people buy from them. So whether, I understand how you personally feel, but it's not about you. It's about your market, right? So, and also if I have something really valuable, like I'm very passionate about my tech support. Like I feel that my tech support is really valuable. I want somebody to connect with me because I know there is, I can add so much value. I can save so much of their tech headaches in their online business. I want them to connect with me. So there's also a belief in I know that if they have me in their life with the tech help versus not having me, they're going to have more pain in their life without it. So you got to also take a step back and be like, forget about your feelings. It's not about your feelings. Your feelings are irrelevant here. What's important is, can you genuinely solve a problem? And are you committed to doing that and helping somebody solve that problem? And I am. So for me, I don't have that on my sales page is too long, or my pop-up is annoying, that's my take. So yeah, hope that's helpful.
No, I think it is. I think that there's different ways of doing it. You can be, you can take this approach of just like, as soon as someone hits the site, bang, bang, bang. We've all been to sites where you have multiple pop-ups. How crazy is that? And you just can't wait to get away from the page. So like doing things and being considerate of how the user's going through, and that's why we test, and that's why we test with real people and see their opinion on things, really makes a difference. But like Eran's saying this, and the reason he's saying it is it's not we all want to do things our way, but like if our way doesn't work, we don't want to do it. And it's not about us, it's about making the sale. It's about getting people. If you want to be successful, you've got to be doing some of these marketing techniques to get people in. Like you said, long sales pages, not only do they convert, but they also get better rankings on search engines and all these things, and they're all knock-on effects. It doesn't mean necessarily that, imagine a massive long sales page, but you've got a pop-up that just says it in a few words, right? So you've got the benefit of both worlds. You've got someone coming in, having a good search engine result for that page. They come into it, go, oh my God, there's so much content. Pop-up comes up, sums it up in a video and a few words. And you go, yeah, I like that. I'll go on there. If they don't want to and they want to read the content, they click the page and they can just read all the content. So if you can make it so that you're hitting everybody, then that's going to be the best solution. Of course, with Zenler, we can set up multiple pages and we can basically split test how it's working. Obviously, that's what Eran's done because that's his job. So he's finding the best ways of doing these things, and that's why he's putting it across here. I understand there's a big love-hate relationship with pop-ups.
Totally. It's a great question, and I really get it. I really get it.
Yeah. So, with lots of thank you. Thank you. This is so valuable. Good point. Is it possible to reduce the sensitivity of the exit pop-up or trigger it on the X, perhaps? No, that's kind of built in the system, unless Eran knows better. You could put your own Java code in there and set your own pop-ups, but we don't want to go down that route. Yeah. So next one, right? Okay. So this is what I wanted to ask you, because I think it's quite valid. When you were doing the presentation, you said 9 marketing tips. Why did you choose 9 over 10 or over 8? You knew this was coming, didn't you?
So this is the thing, right? This immediately it triggers like mentally, like how many lead magnets do you see? 9 steps, blah blah. Usually you see 5-day challenge, 3-day challenge, 3 easy steps, or 7 or 5 or 21 or 9. Now you're talking about 9, and let me tell you, this is gonna be so funny. Why did I choose 9? So I'm a bit of a soccer fanatic, and number 9 in soccer, it's like the striker, So I was like, I'm just gonna go with 9, and I'll come up.
But it wasn't just that. There's the idea behind it, and what? It'll stand out because if you type into search results like 10 or 20. Then it's very likely that Eran's one will come up anyway, and it will be the one that says 9. You automatically drawn to things that are different to anything else. So there is a logic in it, there is a logic in why these things are happening,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And also at the time when I wrote the lead magnet, the thing, when I did the post, I just kind of wrote what came up is the really, what's the most practical tips I can give. And I just kind of wrote them. And when I went and counted them, I was like, oh, it was 9. I was like, okay, yeah, 9. Yeah, let's go with 9. And that post, I think I had 400 comments on that post in that Facebook group at the time. I probably get 400. I probably get about at least 200 people saying, this is so valuable. Can I get help or something? Like I had so many people for that one thing. It was crazy.
And the other thing is, of course, it's what Kevin said the other day. It's like when you're writing content, you write content when it's done. You don't write content to fill an area, Right. And it's the same with the top tips. If you're coming up with top tips, you write the most important top tips. Yeah. When you think that you're running into tips that are just like secondary to what you want to get across, stop. then count them up, and that's how it can dictate what the title of the thing is, because you've made that work with the content, sort of reworking it the other way around. You're not going to go in, so right, I'm going to write 10 top tips and 5 of them are rubbish and no one's going to get any value from them. It'd be better to put 5 tips that are valuable than 10 tips and 5 of them being useless.
That's
right.
So
it is a lot of thinking behind it for such a, but it's interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's really good. Let me show you I'll show you the lead magnet. Would people be interested in that, just to show them?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, where is my Zoom? There you go. Okay, so there you go. This is the lead magnet, really simple. Now I think this could be an old version, but I think I had it prettied up a bit, but this was the original one at least. This little thing, I just made a screenshot, made a picture on Canva, posted the picture, and then typed up the text on Google Doc. Thanks for downloading the freebie. Here's my 9 tips for email marketing. This one, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9. And was it helpful? Buy this book or email me for help or whatever. Yeah. I think I have it differently because I've actually written a book now, like a beginner's guide to email marketing. So I think my call to action now is to go buy that book on Amazon. But besides that, yeah, the tips are the same, basically.
Oh, okay. So do you send all the tips out in one go, or do you do it over a sequence of days?
No, just give it in one go.
One day, and you have your call to action at the bottom, so you make it very simple to go through, know exactly Correct. Where you are. You're not confusing Correct. The issue with setting up multiple, so it's quicker. So the other question I had for you, Eran, because that was really interesting anyway, was how important to you is the reuse of content? It seems to be an ongoing theme for A Day with Zenler today. Reusing content, how important is it?
I wouldn't have a business if I didn't reuse my content.
There you go.
I am obsessed with reusing content. Absolutely obsessed with it. I have so many little tricks on how I reuse content. It is ridiculous, right? I mean, I have like a software tool that I got developed this week, right? Because what happens, I don't know if you're aware of it, but when you take your on Facebook, like let's say you do a really good quality Facebook post, let's just say, right? You copy that and you paste it into, in my case, WordPress for my blog, or even if I post it, if you were to post it on any editor, pretty much, it doesn't do the spacing properly. It just meshes it up in one go. So I got a software developed, but what it does is I can paste it into that software, and then it automatically generates a different thing, and I paste that second thing, like right here. And when I paste that on WordPress, it does the spacing perfectly. So I can turn into a blog post with one click, as opposed to having to go and then tweak it, right? That's an example. I literally got it developed this week, like literally, because I was like, I'm trying to reuse my Facebook posts and Facebook comments into blog posts. And I haven't been able to do it. It's just such a waste of time, right? So that's a classic example, right? Another repurposing. Like I just showed you a little presentation on a Google Doc, right? What do you think I'm going to do with this little presentation? That is going to become a lead magnet for my new Zenler funnel for, website DIY course, new Zenler course, right? Let's say I'll just create that as a lead magnet, say, checklist to list, 9 list building strategies with new Zenler or whatever, or 13, or I don't know, whatever. I'll figure something out,
Yeah.
But then I will then take that content, turn it into a lead magnet, and create a funnel that goes to selling a course on how to use new Zenler, or selling a new Zenler template, or my new Zenler 101. I don't know, whatever. But the point is, I've now just done all this work to create this little Google Doc. I might as well use it for something else, because otherwise all I did is I just shared it here, and it's nice. It was helpful. It gave me a little script to kind of run my presentation so I don't lose my track of thought. But now I've got this content, I might as well use it. I can make it a lead magnet. I can also take that and make it Instagram captions. I can also take that and create Instagram slides like this carousel as an example. And I can also take that video and turn it into a YouTube video. So repurposing is huge for me, huge. I've got a graphic designer working for me. I've got a video editor working for me. And I've got a support person that does, like a tech support person that works with my clients, who repurposes my content into support documents in my tech support membership. So I'm huge on repurposing and reusing content for sure.
Yeah, and it's you know, there has been a lot. I don't think before this we've really spoken too much about it. So like today has been all about that. It's kind of weird how things work out. You know, you follow a trend going through the whole day. I was like, I didn't know that was going to happen, but it's actually really, really valuable. And look, you can see Eran, you can see Angela, you see Alice, Mami, all of them reusing the content they're using. I do it all the time as well. I call it my circle of profit. So it's a time management circle of profit. If you can get these circles and overlap them, then you created one thing, but you're making money off that. And it's almost like a game. It's like, for me, it's a game. Like I'm looking at like, what else can I cross over into that? And you know, you can get these I've got big circles of where stuff cross over, and when I'm bringing revenue in from reused original content from the first bit of content, you can then create like 20, 30 different things coming off of it. And in their own right, each of those can make money. And then you've got circles coming off of them as well. And, you know, it's amazing and it's fun. I know Angela was saying a lot of people with marketing are kind of like, oh, they don't like to do it, post to social media and all of these things. But if you can change your mindset and make it fun, then it changes things completely.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah. So brilliant. That is great. I've got another one for you. So, I really love the video and the thank you page video where you're actually telling people to, you know, what they expect, their expectations. I think that's really good. I don't think we implement that, but I'm going to from now on, because I think that's a really good thing. Because not only, I mean, you've got someone on a thank you page because you're getting them to make a call with you or whatever other call to action you're trying to get them to do. But in its own right, telling people what to expect next with a video and making that connection, I think that's really good as well. That's a really nice touch, Eran, there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
And
so
it works. I can tell you it works amazing. You know, people watch those videos. If there's one thing that I think people don't realize is how much people really do consume your content without you even realizing it. They really do. I mean, I've got people who this is vivid example, probably about 3 months ago, somebody paid me $900 for working with me one-on-one to build their Zenler site, right? And they said, yeah, I've been following you for about 9 months, 10 months, been subscribed to your channel, binging on all your videos. I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. Like, I've never seen them comment on anything. I've never seen them reply to anything. I don't know where they found me. I wasn't friends with them on Facebook. There was none of that. And they've just been consuming my content and reading my emails and watching my videos and binging my new Zenler playlist for literally, she said, 9 to 10 months. She's been going through my stuff before she then reached out and said, oh, by the way, I know you got some service. Could you send me some pricing? Right. So you'd be blown away, you know, and this is also when you're feeling discouraged, like, oh, no one's doing this, no one is doing that. You'd really be surprised. I would safely say that more than 50% of your potential customers are actually like natural lurkers. Okay. And that's okay. I love my lurkers. You know, I love them. I think they're awesome, you know,
stalking you, Eran.
That's right. I love them. I love them because even if they don't exist really, you know, even if I pretend that they exist in my own mind, when I create content, there's no discouragement because I'm like, it's okay. I'm doing it for my lurkers. You know, I might not getting any engagement, but my lurkers are watching. So, you know, in my mind, I'm always creating content for somebody. If nobody's engaging, well, it's okay. My lurkers are seeing it, so I'm good. And they're more than 50% anyway.
Yeah, It's so funny. It's like, I get that as well. I get people like looking at the thing, and then I'll get an email saying, oh, you know, can you create this piece of jewelry for me, or can you do this digital sculpt, or can you do this? And I'm like, who are? I don't even know you. But it's like, yeah, they've been following, they've been in the Facebook group, they haven't even posted, they've just been watching what's going on and making their own assessment to what sort of person you are, I think.
Yes.
And I think that comes across. And this is why I said it's really important. It's a small world. People are watching. You don't know who's watching you. And that's the thing. If you're negative and these things, and you know, rude and those sort of things on social media, it will stick with you. It's such a dangerous thing. So if you're open, honest, transparent, you know, like Eran comes on here, gives his time for an hour. It's precious to Eran. He makes money, and he's doing it for absolutely nothing. Same with Angela and Tracy this morning. And, you know, it just shows what sort of person you are. It's such a big thing. It builds that trust. Lots of people are probably watching you, Eran, that, you know, that haven't seen you on these videos before, and, you know, that people's opinion on people, or they get, you know, they feel a trust because you're talking to them, and it makes such a big difference. It really does.
Huge, absolutely.
So I'm going to say thank you, Eran. I'm also going to show your page, which normally when I show pages, my power cuts off. So if you're on the post, remember to share your page. Yeah, so you can find out more about Eran. He's got this free ebook on this site here. I will post it into the group. So if you love what he's doing and you want to know more, I'm sure Eran doesn't mind you reaching out to him.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Do you? I just said you do. People always say, no.
No, don't reach out to me. I don't want to get to know you. I was just saying it for the presentation.
So
no, I really want you to reach out to me. It's okay. You're welcome to reach out.
He's fine.
Messenger, Instagram, email. I couldn't care less. I'm not much on LinkedIn, but I will check it just in case, you know. So wherever it is, it's convenient for you, I'm available.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you so much, Eran. That's really good. I can't wait. Remember, guys, if you want Eran to reply to anything that he did in his presentation, and he covered quite a lot of stuff there, just make sure that you put Eran in the tag him, so that he sees that, his notification, so he can then reply to you with any questions you've got. I know there was a few coming in there. I do expect there to be quite a lot of questions, same with Angela. So yeah, so you're quite happy to take responses and things, so I'm not going to say any more.
If they do want me to give feedback, just tag me on the comments, and then I'll make sure I do reply. Like I do go and I will review. Like, it's not going to be like thanks, or I'm not going to just like your comment. I'll actually reply and give you feedback. So
brilliant. Thank you so much, Eran. Eran, this is the second time Eran's been on this. It's great. He always gives us real value for money, value for nothing. He's not charging. So, you know, kudos. Look, have a lovely weekend. This is going to take us to the end of the day with Zenler, and I'll just leave you with, all this great stuff that we've done today. Thank you again, Eran, so much. See you later. Bye. Brilliant day. We've had a really excellent day today. So Day with Zenler runs the last Friday of every month. We're going to be running in June. I'm not going to be hosting it. Got family over, I've got commitments and things. So for the first time, we're going to have other team members running it. So there might be 2 of them for the morning and the afternoon. If you're not used to doing this, it can take it out of you a little bit. So Mamie might take some up. Alice will always be on at 3. Hopefully Rakesh will come along and do some announcements and stuff. So it should be a really good one. Yeah, we'll see you again then. Of course, we're going to be popping up. We've got office hours on Wednesdays. We're going to be talking about things that are going on. I'll try and get Mamie to fast track that challenge on storytelling. That would be really good. So maybe we can get that done quick sharpish. She's got all the slides, so she can just run that out as a challenge. Be quite good for June. But lots of stuff to come. Make sure you tune into office hours for any new product releases and general news about the educational area inside Zenler. So we are now 3 minutes past 6. This is the end of the second session of A Day with Zenler. So take care, guys. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you all soon. And thank you for everyone that attended today, and also all the viewers that were putting their wonderful comments into the chat. So take care, have a nice weekend, and I'll see you soon.